shit. 3, 2, 1, we're streaming, we're live, it's happy, we're having a good time. Hello, stream, hello, people. Okay, so, let me start by saying this session is this series, this semester is nearing an end. The students are coming to the latter half of their journey of the first semester of the Grand Guild University. A lot has happened to them up until this point. They have gone through classes, trials, and seeing classmates and friends perish and witnessing marvels beyond their former comprehension or knowledge. Just earlier in the day, let me just say, last session, they tracked down a demon known as the Alu Beast, known as the Alu Demon. They figured out a little bit of information on demons and those types of infernal creatures. It is a dream demon, sort of like a violent animalistic creature that lives in Embar, the multi-tiered rings of hell. You tracked this dream demon to an old shrine, a dilapidated temple with many sleeping people. You managed to safely knock them all unconscious and sent the beast away. In the meantime, you discovered an artifact here at this temple. Ravok picked it up, and it hurt. It was strange and painful, but it also promised great power. At the same time, the demon returned in the body of the priest, in the body of the guard, a town's guard for the city of Kartia. But it was pretty obvious that it was a demon in the flesh of a mortal. It threatened you with further harm and said that it would harm you or the people around you if you didn't give up the fracture of Adior. The thing that you all know now is a whole relic that's been shattered into multiple pieces. Each tiny piece holds immense power, but you don't know what happens when you put the pieces together. It seems like many other entities are trying to do that very thing, but Ravok, holding this small sliver, this crescent moon-shaped crack of a larger whole in his hand, was given an opportunity. Destroy this thing. Don't just send it back from whence it came so that it could return to you and fight you further, as beings from Embar tend to do. It promised complete and total absolution, the desolation and destruction of the Alu Beast. Ravok accepted. A pillar of red energy erupted around the Alu Beast, rendering it, and unfortunately its mortal vessel, to ash. At the same time, Ravok's arm began to dissolve. It lit in the same red energy and burned away piece by piece, almost in perfect cube-like segments. His arm was dissolved and crumbled, leaving nothing but a charred black bone with red glowing veins. Ravok collapsed to the ground unconscious. You all have a bit of time to react, but you both know that the best medical institute nearby is the university.
The university. So, without thinking then, I'm gonna scoop him up.
You scoop him up? He's lifeless. His body does not move. He just goes limp in your arms. His skeletal arm still holds to the meatless skin on his shoulder. It looks like it dissolved up to his shoulder, and it is not bleeding. The wound seemed to cauterize itself.
Is his sword on the ground?
His sword is in the other hand. And yes, it is on the ground. It does clatter.
I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna kind of throw him into the crook of my shoulder, and I'm gonna kind of just immediately freak out and shout something almost intelligible to my allies, like, "We've got to get him to a doctor," and then I run off.
Yeah. The others follow you.
Strongly suggest bringing him to the college as soon as you're running him out. I just scream after you, "How about the one at the college? They have a hospital there!" And as I assume they're running out the front door.
Yeah, I'm taking off out the front door. I hear Minerva, and go, yeah, they're right. I was probably gonna take them like nearer to like the spider lady, and realize that's probably not a good idea. So I have 4 stamina points left, and between here and the university, I'm just gonna be sprinting.
Yeah. I'll say you can burn all of your stamina points to get to the bridge. I need you to make me a physical fortitude check to lunge further than the bridge. Do you need me to roll that for you?
That's up to you. You'll be faster than me. I am starting to type it in the dice roller app.
I got it. Bam. It's 6 on the die.
Physical fortitude?
Correct.
Oh, hell yeah. So you're looking at 15.
15. You make it over that bridge with haste. Minerva, it is night. And you can glide, if you want to spend the stamina to do so, you can turn to mist and follow Minerva the entire way. You will need to spend your stamina to do so.
Talking about following Dawn.
Yeah, sorry. Minerva.
Unfortunately, we have a literal crime scene that just unfolded in front of us, and a police officer that just got freed from the spirit of a shadow monster thing that I have to explain.
Yeah, you walk over to the police officer, and you see the charred remains of a former police officer. The blackened bones of this person lay lifeless on the ground. If you're talking, we can't hear you, Minerva. Oh no, did I freeze? Is it me? Yep, I think it is.
You've returned.
There we go.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I couldn't hear you for a moment.
You're good. What was the last thing you heard so I could figure out where to start?
I said all that's left are the blackened bones of the policeman, and then I didn't hear anything.
Okay. She steps up to the remains of now what is like 6 fallen adversaries, and the charred bones of the police officer, and she runs the thought through her head of how to try to explain this away to an investigating group, and decides that that's going to be basically impossible. Mm-hmm. I look at the rest of the group and say, it is in everyone's best interest if we disappear from this and never come back. And I look at the unconscious people that are on the ground. Varen, do you think you could take the student? There's a large Orin that is still wearing student clothing.
Correct. Varen looks at the student and nods. Heko suggests finding some way to erase their memories, or at the very least blackmail them, so that they cannot, blame anyone else for the death of this.
The Orin will be handled by bringing them to the teachers and having them explain themselves. But as for the rest, I look at the ones that are still alive. This one was fighting against the problem, and then this one over here seemed to serve the spirit. Unless you want to kill sleeping individuals, I think the only person that's a problem here is this old man.
There's 2 old men. One of them was very old, and he clearly didn't want to hurt anybody. All he wanted to do was go to sleep. And then there was the other person who was fully willing to hurt you all and just kept calling you guys idiots.
I don't know.
He dealt with Dawn specifically. He was only fighting Dawn. Dawn made pretty quick work of the old man, but in the time that Dawn was fighting him, they noticed that he was hardly willing. He was only doing this so that he could go back to whatever dream he was in before he fought you. working again. What is happening?
Oh man,
I don't know why this keeps happening. It is very infuriating.
Okay. Are you back?
I am.
Okay, cool. Again, forgotten exactly what I was saying.
It's fine.
The old man.
The old man.
Yeah, okay. So, unless we want to kill sleeping individuals, they might have an issue with us. They're more than welcome to come after us if they want, but there's literally nothing they can tell the police. The ones that, like, we're serving a fucking demon lord to have fun.
No.
And then the other one didn't want to be here to begin with, so she can leave if she wants. And then the Orin's coming with us because they belong to the school. So
fair enough.
that's how I'm approaching the situation.
They all agree with you, and they pick up the man and they follow you back to the university. It will be pretty awkward carrying a man through the open city streets, but Minerva, you know the back ways pretty well.
And they're wearing a school uniform, and we're wearing a school uniform. If anyone asks, they drank too much.
Fair enough. If that's your approach, I need you to make me a social plus manipulation check.
Can do. That happens to be a thing that I do. Dice roller. Sorry, I gotta open that up. Okay. You said social manipulation. That's gonna be a 9.
9 is pretty okay. You are approached by an individual who comes up and they say something about the person that you're carrying. You manage to convince him that it is just a drunken slumber, and they drank too much, and they must return back to their dorms before classes start. They look at you in your uniform. They look at this person in their uniform, and they're like, "Okay, yeah, that makes sense." And they believe you. Carry on. A few maybe skeptical looks, but like all in all, it probably comes more.
Do they want to interfere in college business?
No,
they
do
can
not. Well,
follow us if they want.
The regular civilians do have a. I mean, it seems like Karcha has some minor level of disdain for the students. They don't hate you, but like you can, just like any city treats students at the local university. They don't love them. They just accept that they're there.
I've taken a role where I expect most people to not be super happy with me being around, but it's fine.
Yeah. But this person believes you, at least well enough to not bother you further, and you, carrying this person, take them back. Eventually, both parties, Dawn first, make it to the other side of the Emerald Stone Gate. The Emerald Stone Bridge to the university gates, where there is a guard standing there. The guard looks at you up and down, sees you carrying a person missing an arm. His eyes go wide in realization and goes, "To the infirmary, right away. Follow me. You maintain guard." While running,
I'd follow them.
Yeah, while running in that direction, he begins like whistling and shouting, but nobody hears anything before you get to the infirmary. It's the first building that you see other than the Gileas building. One's a huge
As soon
laboratory.
as Varen enters the infirmary, I am going to slip away. I'm actually going to go to Varen's dorm. I'm going to do it stealthily, but I'm not necessarily trying to hide exactly. Just like if no one's looking at me, I'm going to bolt.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. You slip away. Go ahead and just for the sake of things, make me a physical or focus plus stealth check.
Understood. Well, good thing I got pluses.
Mm-hmm.
And physical plus stealth plus the kata. That's going to be 10 exactly.
Exactly, that's pretty good. You slip away from it, at the very least, any of your allies who are watching. You don't know if the guard noticed or not, but they don't seem to care too much that you've slipped away, even if they did notice. But Dawn, you reach the infirmary. You can see your allies are pretty close behind you. You just, at the very least, you can see them running from the other side of the bridge. with Ravok slung over your shoulder, or however you're carrying him, you enter the infirmary, and you can see a couple of the Physicure students, going about their menial tasks. It seems like it's pretty late at night at this point, so they aren't paying much attention to anyone. They don't look crazy busy with anything. It looks like at the very least they are focused on sobering students up so that they don't have hangovers for tomorrow morning. Upon seeing you carrying a boy with a missing arm, they all immediately burst into a frenzy of action. They grab Ravok, throw him onto a cart, carry him away into rooms beyond.
Yes to everything you're saying, but can I do something?
Yeah.
It occurs to me before I'm actually here and the gets whisked away, but that the thing that did this to him is in his pocket.
You actually don't. You were pretty close to him when it happened. It disappeared.
Oh shit! Really?
Mm-hmm.
Man.
By disappeared.
Don't tell anyone in the audience, but that's two of us now that have a fracture.
Yeah. It didn't quite disappear. More fused with his arm. Those glowing red veins on the blackened bones of his skeletal arm.
Yeah, if I look for it and I can't find it and it looks like it's just... I guess it's going with him then.
Yep.
That's fine.
Do you wait in the weight room?
Or
do you try to follow him into
I'm like frankly speechless.
Okay. Yeah, they take him. They just take him into the other room, and gone. The guard still waits with you. He questions you, obviously asking how the boy lost his arm and what happened.
I really, really dumb the story down. I give like a shocked down version of the hero. We went to a cult, which we believe was worshipping a demon and giving it enough power to have committed the atrocities that happened to our friend. And we went to stop them.
He looks not horrified. His face, like, you can tell this man hears things like this all the time. He just definitely wasn't expecting something to happen tonight, or maybe wasn't expecting something to happen to first-term students this early in the semester, but he swallows deeply and runs.
Check out in Harrisonburg. Oh my god, sorry, I hit mute and
it didn't mute. It's okay. So, the issue here is, at this point, Varen comes in carrying another individual who, with less urgency, students gather, take him away. And then Minerva slips away silently and discreetly. He goes on
What's
with
the password
further...
for joining the game session?
Oh, it's your character's name.
Maybe it's capitalized then.
It probably
It is.
Sweet, that was the problem. Okay, cool.
But he goes on interrogating you, asking you questions, but if you don't lie to him, then there is no check required. He just...
I'm gonna just leave out the fracture. I did tell them the whole story, all the way up to the demon having a phylactery. But I do not mention what the phylactery is, and I do not mention that it was used in the spell that destroyed the demon.
Do you explain how Ravok lost his arm, or do you just say that he lost his arm in the process of the fight?
I'm gonna say, after like this big, long, drawn-out fight, another passersby from inside of the leper town entered, claimed he was the same possessed demon, that he would just keep doing this, and then Ravok cast some sort of unholy spell which just obliterated the demon clear out of the person's body and the person's body itself.
He thinks to himself and says, "Oh, bloody hells, that's the worst blight I've ever seen. And I've seen some pretty bad blight."
Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted it to sound like.
I still want you to make me, we'll call it a social plus charm check.
I have social and charm. Can you roll it for me?
I can.
I'm almost done closing here, by the way.
All is, well, Jesus, a 7 on the dice.
Hell yeah. I don't have so much charm, so 7, 9.
Did you say 7 plus 9?
It's 14. Is my total.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's pretty good. Pretty good. By pretty good, I mean very good. That's incredible. Yeah, he accepts your story. He definitely says he's going to have follow-up questions. And then he says he says, if you've been away all day, you clearly, and Minerva, you're still around just long enough to hear this last little bit. There's a curfew in place. As a result of the horrible incursions that happened to the students at the pub, just on the other side of the stone bridge. We have enacted a curfew. Students are not to be leaving university grounds starting tomorrow after second sunset. If you are not back by the end of second sunsetting, there will be repercussions, and someone will be sent to find you and return you to the university.
I have many thoughts about this.
Basically, he just says that there's a university curfew because students have been killed. It's for your safety, obviously, he says.
For our safety, yeah. I kind of just like slowly nod. Now that we've done what we can to avenge our schoolmates, I'll respect the curfew.
He says, you should probably expect to be on the horns tomorrow midday. Sorry, he says, looking at your horns. It's a euphemism. It means you should probably expect to hear a call from the headmasters to speak with them in the middle of class. Middle between classes tomorrow. I have to go and write a report on this and give it directly to Master Olin. So,
of course, do what you have to. I won't make your job any more difficult.
He nods to you. Would you like a guard escort for the rest of the night?
Would your guard like an escort?
Well, no. The escort's for you. He looks at you confused.
I would need protecting.
What'd you say? Apparently you need protecting.
I don't need any protecting, sir.
He... Right then. You... He just gives you a pitying look and says, I'm sorry. And then he returns to post. Ravok.
Me.
You are asleep. You know your body is unconscious. You can feel it. The inability to activate it or move it, but you're trapped in there. You're not dreaming. You are conscious. But you can tell you're not paralyzed either. You know your body is asleep and unconscious and unresponsive, but you can do passive things like breathe and hear and know everything that's happening around you. It's pretty obvious that you're being carried by Dawn for a certain period of time, and then suddenly you are not. You can feel wind whipping your hair, and then you can hear the waterfalls and rushing water, sounds that you're obviously getting closer to the university, and then that telltale sound, smell of burnt ozone that emanates from the university, the smell of aurora. You find yourself getting brought through doors. You can hear a conversation between Dawn and a guard, and then you can hear the murmur of strangers as you get loaded up onto a cart and rolled somewhere else. You can hear the sounds of people trying to figure out what to do with you, with your arm, with everything. You can feel people poking and prodding at your arm. It's extremely painful. And you just can't fall asleep. Your brain just won't turn off, though your body is inert. You are like locked in the shell of your own body. It feels like hours before you were finally left alone in a room with, you can tell, other people, but it's the kind of alone that isn't entirely alone. You know, when you're in a room and there's nobody else in it, you can tell that there's nobody else there. But when you're in a room and someone else is sleeping, while they are not fully aware of you, there's still a part of them that is. You feel this right now. You feel like you are in a room where somebody is sleeping. But as far as you can tell, nobody is sleeping in this room. I need you to make me a mental plus fortitude check.
Alrighty. Well, let me be right back.
Rada rada. Rada rada.
Rada rada, indeed. There's my chair. Let's see, you said a mental fortitude?
I did.
Whoa, why'd it roll 2? That's silly.
How dare it?
Yeah, right? Try that again.
What a bastard.
Why did it roll it? What is happening right now? My computer just hates me.
That is weird. The 8.
Right? There we go.
Okay. That's better.
8
8.
plus
No.
mental
Yes.
is 1, so 9 plus fortitude?
Yes.
12.
12 is very good. You manage to push yourself slightly farther away from your body. Whilst you don't fall into a dream state, you can put yourself into a meditative state where you are not focused on your mind. You're not focused on your body. You are only focused on your mind and your thoughts. You separate yourself. You split your mind away from your body. It's something that you learned to do while you were training with sword sages. And you find yourself still not alone. There is something else in your mind with you. While it doesn't take up a huge portion of your mind, you sense a familiarity. You can tell that it is something you made a deal with. Your bond to this entity. You have formed a connection to some being, and part of it exists inside of your mind. What would you can just ignore it and exist in this state for however long you need to, or you can try to reach out to it.
I'm gonna... Yeah, I don't know. I have nothing better to do, and I physically can't do anything else, so I'm gonna try reaching out to it. I'm just trying to figure out what it is, and why I lost my arm. Or finger? Yeah, I just lost my finger.
You lost your finger. And then you remember losing your finger. You gave that up willingly. You were like, yeah, I'll give up a finger for power. That's fine. We could just get a new one or something. Whatever your thought process there was. And then you remember another entity. Something that would just keep coming back. And every time it would come back, it'd probably come back more powerful and hurt more people. And maybe even hurt your friends. And then the being said, I could give you more. I could destroy it. And you said yes. And then the pain in your fingers spread up your hand to your elbow, to your shoulder. Your arm, you get a flash of a memory of you holding your arm out, stretched towards the entity, your arm moving of its own will, and bursting to red flame, and then slowly dissolving as the being that it was focused on erupts in red fire and dissolves. As it dissolves, so does your arm. And then darkness.
Darkness.
So you're not sure if you have an arm or not, but you don't feel it. When you try to think about that part of your body, it hurts. But
Fun. Alright, well, being unsure if I have an arm or not, yeah, I guess I just kind of go through my mind and try and figure out what this is that's, deciding to, take residence in my noggin.
you reach out to the entity, and you are suddenly brought somewhere else. In your mind, you are still in your own mind, or at the very least you think you are. You don't think your soul has been taken somewhere, but something has built up a palace in your soul. Whilst here, you get a sense of yourself. You look down and you see yourself. You see you standing tall. But you're missing an arm. Even in this ghostly aurora form, one of your arms is gone. You look out, up upon a pyre of red and black bones. There is a shadowy red energy. It is in the shape of a bipedal being, with two long, sort of branch-like shapes that come out of its head and connect in the back like a halo. Its eyes a deeper red than the rest of its dark crimson body. One of its arms is your arm.
Well, that explains where my arm went.
It looks down at you and says, "Hello, my child," in a voice that rumbles your soul. You can feel your body as it speaks. Your body shakes with the sound of it reverberating inside of your skull. What can I do for you?
I just have a few questions. Mainly, what are you?
I am Adior, the perfect false soul.
And you were trapped in that shard that I picked up?
The shard is part of me, my physical manifestation. It is broken, severed. It must be united. I must be whole.
Oh, okay. So you want me to find the rest of the pieces?
Collect them and bring them together.
Okay, that shouldn't be too hard.
If you do this and offer your vessel, you will be bestowed with unlimited power and the soul of a god.
Oh, okay, do you know where I should start?
I am blinded
the outer world. I only see through your eyes.
Well, then I guess we'll, start looking then. Is there anything else I should know? You're not gonna randomly just take control of my body and make me do horrible atrocities or something?
I am only a weapon. I am to be wielded. I do not wield.
Well, that's good to know.
You seem skeptical. Make me a social instinct check.
There's a scenario. There is a very possible scenario where Minerva has to kill Ravok to save Echo.
Possibly.
I don't... What?
Or perhaps not.
I'm just saying. I see a path.
Yeah.
I'm looking at many paths. I see a path.
I've been worried about the same thing. I'm glad.
If Ravok dies, he dies.
If he dies, he dies. What?
I will not so hard if you try to kill each other.
What was
Ravok's not gonna try anything, but, you know, it'd be like that sometimes.
it do.
And we know how much Tristan loves killing my characters.
Or trying
Favorite
to.
pastime of mine.
Specifically trying.
What am I rolling again?
Usually I do it as God, so this will be the first time I just,
PvP. Social instinct.
Wonderful. So 15.
15's not bad. 15's really good. 15's fantastic. This thing, it's not lying to you. It doesn't seem like it's deceiving you in any way. It does, however, seem like it is, I don't want to say withholding information purposefully, but you can tell, like, it knows more. Like, it could tell you more about the scenario. It seems like it needs the right question. It's just not gonna willingly have a discussion with you. It's only gonna respond to questions that you ask it. But it doesn't seem like it's gonna lie to you.
Okay. Well, I guess, I'll be using you, as you put it, to help, you know, do the things that I want to do, and maybe help save people and go on adventures. Well, so I guess that's all I've got. I can't really tell, though. Do I have an arm still?
It holds up the arm, and it says,
As payment for the contract, I have taken your mortal arm to use for the mortal vessel I must create. In place,
Parasite the Maxim.
you have been given power. You may wield the weapon that I am in the presence, in the percentage that you have given.
cryptic. You don't know entirely what that means, but you get the sense that a trade was made, and the trade was your arm. You just don't know what you got out of it.
Well, I'll be relying on you, I guess, considering you have my arm.
It seems to flex the fingers of your hand out. You almost feel the phantom feeling of your own fingers, muscles, and your wrist and forearm flexing as he pulls his fist into a ball and opens it again, over and over and over again. You get a phantom feeling of this happening.
Alrighty. That's new. That's gonna take a little getting used to. Out of character a little bit. Why would Minerva need to... What did I do to kill Heko?
He's asking you to gather all of the orbs.
Oh.
There are shards spread all around the world, many of which I know about, and some of which I am keeping secret to protect people.
That's fine.
Yeah, I agree. We should keep those secret to protect people.
Okay.
Good stuff.
We'll nuke that bridge when we get there.
I'll see you in the flames.
Speaking of, Minerva,
Hey,
you snuck
I went to
away.
go get the magical gemstone out of Varen's room because I hid it there because he's the least magic person.
Gotcha. Yeah. You glide up there and grab it. Is it... you glide up there and figure out where it is. Is it
Yeah.
the same one? The same thing? It's another... It's
the
piece?
one that does the magical, like, repression.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. It like, makes magic... It destroys magic, yeah. The anti-magic crystal thing. Yep. You grab it. It's...
Gonna bring that with me to the infirmary, and first I'm gonna check on Ravok, and then I will check on the Orin should Ravok be A-okay.
Mm-hmm. You go in. The nurses do tell you that they aren't. That if you want to come and see your loved ones,
He's a
you'll have
member
to
of
wait.
my guild. I would just like to check on them. I said
me-
guild. I meant class. You get the point.
Yeah. You know, a company. Make me a social persuasion check.
Okay. No, wrong table. Not great. That's a 6.
This infirmary worker looks at you with like a piteous look and says, "He is not well, and he is sleeping soundly. I fear awakening him will just cause him further pain. I will let you.
Can you
look
give me
into
some
the room.
information on his status, then, if you are going to bar me from his room?
Follow me." She walks you to the room. She does not let you go in. Well, you know, she informs you that she can't let you go in. She doesn't.
I
like,
act very
physically
perturbed about that and annoyed, and I make it clear.
Mm-hmm. She looks like she's heard this quite a few. She's heard this same spiel many times. So she presses on unbothered. Gestures towards the window where you can see Ravok sleeping in there. Something strange is happening to Ravok, though. He's sleeping feverishly with a sheen of cold sweat on his brow and the skeletal hand flexing slightly. It's twitching. Otherwise, he's just kind of sleeping uncomfortably. She says, "We've given him laudanum to allow him to sleep peacefully. We hope to ease the pain further before awakening him. But it is unknown when he will awaken. We do not wish to induce the awakened state until we are
I want to
sure."
know the moment he does.
She nods. "We will inform you and the rest of your guild. Here, take this." She walks over to like a cabinet and opens the cabinet and hands you a stick. It's just a long, thin stick. She hands it to you, and as you reach out to take it, she snaps it in half. She then rolls.
I give her a
it.
look, but continue to follow instructions.
She mutters some words at the same time that she snaps it, and it glows with a soft aurora glow. She then rolls it in her fingers. You can feel it rolling. She says, "I will tap it 3 times. You will feel it knocking. When that happens, you'll know that it is time to come and see your friend. For better or for worse."
Alright, I'd say the other one that we brought in, the one who was, well, blighted from his time with a cult, the Orin. How is he?
He is sleeping off a severe concussion, but he will awaken, likely early in the morning.
He did not give us his name, but he did mention that he was from the school. I don't know if his state of mind was altered by a presence or if he was doing it of his own free will, but I would recommend to keep an eye on him. If he awakens, I don't know if he's going to be happy to be here.
Ah, noted. If he is cracked, we will send him to the scythe. I will let you know if this happens as well.
I appreciate it. And I'm now going to go to the room that I know that Lao Gui is, the Dracian bookie, the guy that I brought in a long time ago. Not a long time ago, it's literally been like a day and a half, maybe 2 days.
Yeah.
But it feels like a long time ago.
Yeah.
And he's the one that was got attacked by, otherworldly spirits and shit. And I had to drag him across the bridge.
He's playing cards with somebody else in the infirmary. So you walk in to the lobby area where people who are staying overnight in the Medica have like a sort of a community spot with like couches and desks and chairs and stuff. He's playing some card game with another patient who's got burn scars or burn wrappings up a whole half of their body. When you walk in, you see
Lao Gui, may I have a seat? And I gesture to whatever's open chair nearby.
He gestures for you. Yes, you can watch me get my ass kicked a third time in a row. And he plays a couple of cards.
How are you healing?
I'm doing better. Well, if I'm being totally honest. And he leans in and says conspiratorially, I'm perfectly fine, but I'm afraid if I leave this place, it'll happen all over again.
That was my worry for a while, too, and I want to present you an option. I'd produce the magical gem of pulling in magic.
Crystals? I thought that was a dated magic. I didn't know you all still taught that old school crap.
It attacks Aurora and absorbs it. I have the belief that if you have this on your person, you should be immune to long-distance effects such as over-the-air curses. Now, if you're attacked directly by someone who can see you, target you directly, I don't know that would help, but if you want to try to, free yourself from the current prison that you're in, I have an option.
He raises an eyebrow. And how much is this option going to cost me? I know you, Moon Knife.
I'm currently paying for your hospital bill. You owe me.
And this is going to stack? I take
This is going to be proof that we will continue to work together, and I said it in front of him, that you can count on me. Can I count on you?
He takes a moment. He looks at his cards. He sets them down and slides them towards the other guy who... Some show of cardsmanship happens, and he looks at both hands, and you can tell that the other guy won. He takes whatever winnings he earned, and he walks away from the table. Lao Gui leans back in the chair. He looks at you. He meets your eyes with his reptilian, slitted eyes, and says, "Yes, you can trust me." And
Well, we're going to have to repeat what we tried before. I will, of course, rescue you if it becomes an obvious attack, but I only see one way we can prove if you're free from these bonds.
He takes a deep breath. Can we do it in the morning? I'd really like one more good night's sleep on that. Lovely.
Certainly. I know where to find you, as I chuckle and then turn to walk away.
All of you, the entire group, an entire week passes of Ravok sleeping feverishly. You all go to your classes, wake up the next morning, check on Ravok, know that he's still sleeping. Eventually the nurses let you in to sit by his bedside as they inform you they could not wake him up. There are maybe a few spells that might force him to wake up, but they are hesitant to do that for a number of reasons. You are told that they've healed him to the best of their ability, and he should be fully healthy, but they can't break his fever, and the blight that is bone deep in his arm seems to be irremovable. They attempted to cut the bone part of the arm off, as it seemed to be useless, but they couldn't. It would mend itself faster than they could destroy it. They managed to get a blade halfway through the bone, but the bone healed over the blade. They had to break the blade off, leaving a piece of it sticking out of his upper arm. The bone has some intense magical properties on it. They are now in the process of figuring out. They've got mages coming over and looking at it. Alwyn himself came and cast a few spells on it. They didn't say what the result was, though. Master Alwyn didn't tell the medical staff what it meant, but who knows?
I would watch this Dr. House.
It's just like an episode of Dr. House. All of this happens over the span of a week, when eventually Minerva... Oh, I should also mention, the next morning after you had that conversation with Laguai, he was fine. He was able to walk out of the university with no noticeable attacks
Hell yeah.
to his person.
Well, as soon as we leave the university, we don't have to roleplay this, but I'm going to bring him to Edgar, the shopkeep, and he's going to allow him to stay there as an extra accountant in black fencing, and he has no choice in the matter.
Perfect. Yeah. We don't have to roleplay.
I meant black market fencing.
He agrees, not just because you terrify him to a deep-rooted level, but also because you do know that he did get better locks this time. Locks that you tripped with a little more difficulty than before, meaning...
Oh, my old key isn't going to work. Shit.
Yeah,
Oh well.
It spent you like 10... It took you like 10 minutes as opposed to like the quick knock of it, but it did take you like 10 minutes to pick the lock. But eventually, you got through, and all of that went pretty smoothly.
Sweet. Alright. Didn't want to, detract too much. Just wanted to let you know where he's at.
You and Dawn find yourself sitting in the cafeteria one day when you feel in your pocket knock, knock, knock onto your thigh.
Who is you?
Minerva, you feel it.
Oh. On my thigh. I pull what I assume is the twig out of my... I have a dress. I don't have pockets. Something.
Whatever, your bag, whatever it's in. You pull it out, and it jumps near out of your hand and clatters onto the wood table of the.
Am I with Dawn?
The cafeteria. You are with Dawn. You and Dawn are sitting out here together. I'll say Chip's here too.
Dawn, Chip, that's a sign that Ravok's awake, and I just literally turn into mist and travel as fast as possible.
Beautiful. Dawn.
I turn to where they were a second ago, and I say, "What? Oh, already gone." And I get up real quick and head out.
Okay, excellent. You leave the cafeteria room in a quick burst of excitement, leaving your half-eaten food behind, and all rush to the infirmary, where Ravok, you wake up. You wake up to the scent of freshly baked apples, the strange, dull feeling of sluggish lethargy that's racking your whole body. You are hungry. Hungrier than you have ever been in your entire life. And there is a nurse. Well, not a nurse, actually a professor. Eris. Professor Eris, who is looking at something in the room next to you. Some kind of bag of glowing liquid that's connected to some tube that connects into your arm. Your arm that's still there. You are made aware very quickly that your other arm is bones and do not respond to you trying to move it. It just dangles limply as you stir. She turns as she notices your weakness. She looks at you for a moment blankly, and then she does like a double take. Oh, you're awake. Good. Hello? Did it happen again? God damn it. Every time. Why does this keep happening?
F in the chat.
I'm here again. I'm back. Can you hear me?
Press X.
Okay.
Yeah.
She looks at you, she notices that you're awake, and she says, "Oh good, you're awake." What'd you say?
I said that, I feel like I haven't eaten in a week.
That's because...
And that's permission to go to the cafeteria.
She says, "That's because you've been fed by this." And she gestures to this bag of glowing magical liquid that's being fed into your arm. She puts her hand on your chest and leans you back down, does a series of quick hand gestures that causes the tube that's sticking in your arm to dislodge itself and then heal over, cleanly and scarlessly. She ties some knot on the end of the bag so that liquid doesn't pour out all over the floor, and walks over and blows out some candle that's burning next to the side of your bed. She says, "Follow me. You can eat here. I don't want you to leave the infirmary just yet."
Okay.
She takes you to the downstairs level of the infirmary building, where it's just sort of like an open area with like a small minor food court. She lets you gather up whatever food that you want and sit down. At the same time that you sit down, you see 3 of your allies burst in through the door. That'd be Dawn, Chip, and Minerva.
Hi. What are
Well,
you guys
you took
doing?
long enough to wake up. How are you?
I don't think that was my fault. I'm fine. It's
I didn't
gonna
say it
be
was your
interesting.
fault, so I'm just curious what you remember.
I
I
remember
nearby.
us fighting, and then I remember not knowing how to, everyone kind of arguing about how we were gonna transport the shard, so I picked it up, and then well, the something told me it could deal with the demon, so I dealt with the demon, and then I hurt my arm and everything went black, and now I'm here and starving.
And I snap my fingers as soon as he says that. Can we get this patient something to eat? I yell into the hallway, and I look down at you.
He's got
I
a
have
tray of
food in front of me.
Oh, never mind. Never mind. I
He
missed that
brought.
part.
He was like gathering
Thank
food from like a food cart barn.
So we walk in, and you just look at us and say hi, and then have this full-length conversation.
Yes, precisely.
Start sobbing while you talk like adults. I just start sobbing, and I hug you right.
Aw.
Thanks.
I bear witness, but wait.
Excuse me for 1 second. Can I explore my mind to see if I can get access to my arms so that I can eat?
You go into your mind's eye. You meditate for a few moments. So Ravok just closes his eyes, crosses his legs, and does like a full om.
I say excuse me
normal?
for a second before that, but
As soon as he starts going I look at Dawn. Is that normal?
I don't think so.
Oh, great.
I'm doing it too now.
Chip says, "You know, I think I've seen him do it before. It's one of those things that the sages do. They're like, they all say a different thing, and they go into like a weird trance-like state. I think it helps them with their Jedi bullshit."
yeah,
Well, I'll pretend that I understand any of that and just nod and say, okay.
You go into your mind palace, you find the entity that is waiting in there for you, and you ask it to use the arm. It says...
specifically so that I can eat.
It says...
You wish to wield the weapon. For the sake of consumption.
It would make eating very easy if I could have access to my arm.
You need only focus your internal ire on your weapon.
I'm not sure what that means, but I'll give it a go, and then I pop back into reality.
Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes.
Exactly.
You pop back in. Your friends are staring at you with a look of concern.
I focus really hard on my missing arm.
Roll a d4.
I have one of those. Four.
You
Don't.
hold up the arm. You lose 4 stamina, by the way. You hold up the arm. You hold it out and summon a magical sword. Everything you have ever wanted out of a sword. The perfect sword in your hand. The skeletal arm is not quite strong enough to hold it up by itself, and it thumps to the ground.
That's not access
a
to my arm at all.
It leaves a burning scar in the ground where it falls and cleaves into the ground.
There wasn't access to my arm at all. Just drop the sword.
It vanishes.
I kind of lean away from you, though I'm still on the hospital, or where I'm just kind of with you, but I lean away from you.
Chip goes, that's new.
I got it about a week ago. I'm still figuring it out.
For about 4 minutes, you have access to use the skeletal arm.
Wonderful. I eat my food as if my arm isn't just made of bones.
Eris is looking at you with a look of absolute hungry interest. She does not look taken aback. She does not look disturbed or horrified. She looks quizzical and excited. She begins quickly jotting things down.
I ignore all of it. So what have you guys been up to as I'm just eating whatever it is in front of me?
Well, we've been waiting on you mostly. Trying to figure out when you'd wake up. What else have we been up to, Dylan, other than just classes?
You did have your meeting. Your meeting with all of
cool.
those people, because you did say you wanted that to be a week from
Yep.
the day prior. So you had
No
that.
one killed anybody?
Nobody killed
Okay, so
anybody?
So I wanted to... I guess I should probably have prefaced this before, but I wanted to have Varen be the representative of the Six of Hearts there, because I need to arbitrate the meeting. And then I wanted Dawn and whoever else we could get to wear some armor and pretend to be security. So that way it looks like we have, bodies and soldiers.
Yeah. The meeting goes pretty smoothly as an exchange of information from the criminal underground and the
Dawn, would you be okay with that?
Occult Society.
Being scary muscle for a conversation between possible future syndicates?
I would be okay with it. I just want you to know how hard it was to actually make Dawn like you put them in armor and disguised them and kind of just included them, but literally Dawn is
Dawn can have her helmet off if she wants to. Dawn's the most physically imposing person that we have that wouldn't be I need Varen to talk on behalf of the group, I guess. Just because he's a sort of unknown representative so far. But Dawn, I would say, is the most physically imposing outside of that. So that's the whole reason I was make look badass.
Yeah, I try to look cool and imposing and subtle also. But I'm probably easing the whole time being.
I'm gonna make a social presence check on behalf of Varen. I believe his total for that is 4. He rolls a 9. It's not horrible. It's not bad. It doesn't go poorly in any way, shape, or form. But Minerva, you're the one who set this up, so I want you to make me a mental plus, let's call it your choice of mental manipulation or mental leadership.
So you want to do mental leadership for me? Is that what you were asking for?
Yes. Mental leadership or mental manipulation.
Definitely manipulation if that's an option.
Yep.
Alright. Yes. Leadership I do not have slotted anything. So let's do this. Okay, so that's gonna be 9.
9? Okay. The meeting goes as average as it possibly could. Minerva, recount the meeting going the way you think it would go to Ravok. The way you think it would go with 2 9s as the roll. Consider 9 being a moderately difficult check to succeed on. So it's not hard. So you did well. You just didn't do great.
Yeah. Well, we talked to everyone. Mostly it was just a way of establishing connections and agreements that we won't be stepping on each other's territory, and we won't cause issues for one another, and if we need each other's services, we know how to contact everyone. It's more of a it's more of a foundation for a future building than anything else. This was introductions, mostly.
It was like a network meeting to make friends with all the bad guys.
Precisely, a business network meeting. Yeah, precisely.
Yes. The only issue.
The only issue?
Sorry. The only issue is that I wasn't invited.
I mean, I probably would have made him like the bartender because I think the whole plan was to like throw this at like Odd Job Tob's pub.
Okay.
Just like allow him to bartend.
Yeah. Okay. Then he will do that. He will. Yeah. Then instead of saying that is the only issue is I lost a lot of money that night, and now.
Oh yeah, you do that.
I have to do something for ego. It's fine.
Poor Chip.
It'll be fun. I just have to do it for free now. And he waves it off. But don't worry about me. You're missing a fucking arm. Why isn't that more pressing?
I've still got it. See, I like pick it up. I pick up like an apple or something with it. And it's still here. Kind of, more or less. Plus or minus.
Minus. It's a pretty big minus.
Yeah, but then I can summon that cool sword with it. I'd say that's a pretty big plus.
He just looks at you with a blank face and goes, "Okay, Ravok, glass half full, I guess." God damn it.
If we, built you an arm.
I don't need it. Well, I mean, that would be cool. I don't know if I need a full arm or just like a cover so that it doesn't just look like bones, because then I get concerned people asking why I don't have an arm when I clearly have half of an arm.
Eris finally speaks up. That's something you're going to want to bring up to the Masters. You all are set to go on the Horns. It'll be soon. You should be expecting a messenger in, I don't know, the next 10 to 15 minutes. So you all should prepare yourselves. You're going to be in front of all the headmasters, and they're going to want to question you about everything that happened.
This happens once a month at this point. That's fine.
This isn't disciplinary. At the very least, I don't think it is. I think it's bigger than that. I think it's very big. So prepare yourselves, get your story straight. I'll leave, so you all can figure it out. If you want, I can send Patch in here. He's been waiting outside this entire time. I didn't hear what you said, I'm sorry.
Well, we were agreeing that Patch should come inside.
Cool. As she walks out, you hear her murmur some words, and then Patch walks in. He looks as tired as ever, walking in with a briefcase over his shoulder, and he sits down at the table with all of you. Right. So, lay it on me. What's happening?
Am I going to say it again, or Don, do you want it this time?
I blew my nose.
You don't have to actually recant the story point for point. You can just tell me if you tell the truth or if you lie, and what you lie about if you do lie.
I do the same thing that Dawn always does every time they let Dawn talk. Too honest. But that's because we already told this specific person about this weird, like, jewel hunt. We haven't told him what the jewel is. Things that people seem to want. So I tell him the whole story.
Bro.
Oh God! I just tell him the whole story, like almost as honest as can be.
Yeah. He nods and accepts the whole thing. A few parts he looks like, damn it, you shouldn't have done that. Or a few things he's like, that was pretty clever.
And I make sure to make it clear to him that we like that to the faculty and the school and stuff. We left out the part about the weird jewel collecting.
He
thing.
says, actually, I think, well, it's up to you all. But at this point, things have gotten way too deep for you to do this on your own. These jewels, we figured out what they are. The headmasters can tell you a little better than I can, but from what I understand, they are heavily coveted, as I'm sure you've realized. You all have found yourselves somewhat in the middle of a bidding war between gods, devils, and the like. So, he shrugs. Yeah, you're deeply in the middle of it.
That we've come in contact with these things.
It's one of those situations where fate wants something of you. A calling of sorts. Every so often it happens to a hero or adventurer or a student, and those involved usually end up in the middle of a lot of shit. Which you are. I can do my best to mitigate and counsel, but you're already here. There's no more trying to skirt it.
I give everyone in the party that Dawn face raised best.
Repeat that, Don.
I give everybody the face that Dawn gives everyone. That means, what do you guys think about this? Hello.
I'm gonna sit there and just through in between bites, just well, this isn't the first time. If we found ourselves in the middle of this, I guess we gotta see it through or something.
What do you suggest doing, Thaddeus?
I suggest telling the headmasters what you know. But just be prepared when you do that. They are going to expect something of you, and it's going to be dangerous.
The last time we gave the information to the headmasters, it involved this lot being whipped. And since then, we don't know how they're going to treat magical afflictions. Do you really trust them with any shred of decency?
Decency? No, not decency. But mutual interest, or at the very least, and he does air quotes, the betterment of society. Yes, magical society. They do care about that sort of thing. They care.
My first priority is the safety of those that are currently in a compromised state as I look at Ravok. Can you promise me his safety if I go along with what you've said?
No, I can't promise any of your safety from this point forward. You're more
Then,
stuck
quite
as-
frankly, I don't know that you're able to help.
He shrugs. Hey, I can just do what I'm here for. If you don't want it, he puts his hands up in a gesture of non-aggressive nonchalance. That's your prerogative.
The decision lies with Ravok, but I won't be making any decisions for him.
I mean, if they think they can help, even after everything, I do still tend to trust that the teachers and the headmasters know what they're doing.
I think we should tell them the truth.
By all means, I will accompany you all, but I will firmly say right now that I will help whatever you all need from me. They, on the other hand, I gesture in a direction of higher authority, indicating I'm talking about the headmasters, cannot count on my assistance. I will accompany you for as much as you need from me, but I won't be talking to them.
Let me lay out the long and short for you all. The thing that you have all encountered on multiple occasions at this point is a powerful artifact, is obvious, but the beings that want it, they want it for a variety of purposes, some good and some bad. The university is just going to try to play kingmaker. Keep away from those who don't deserve it and give to those that do. The only issue with doing this is you will be putting your hopes of, if you had any interest in who this went to at all, you would be giving the ability to choose to the university, and they would be your, and he does dramatic air quotes, quest givers from that point forward. If you trust them to do that, then, and he gestures to the two of you, indicating it's on you.
Indicating what? You cut out for me at the very end.
He just says it's on you. If you trust them to play kingmaker for you, then it's on you.
I don't know, I can't speak for everyone else, but I feel like I can trust them.
If I'm playing poker tonight and we're giving them the right to choose who the heroes are, I trust the people we know already have them. And I trust us to keep them out of the hands of people who don't deserve it.
Ravok, you already made your own decision when you seem to have accepted the bond of whatever that power is that you wield now. I'm not going to stop you from whatever other choices you make, and I'm here to help you along the way. But I won't be talking to the headmasters in any capacity, because I believe in my own heart that they are purely in this for greed.
Do you think if we give them this info, they'll waive our...
I assume you're going to say waive our fee, and you cut out. I'm worried about the people that they'll hurt with that information.
Perhaps you and I can come up with a plan to keep our eyes on them. We are here all the time after all, and you're clearly more resourceful than most old people are.
I chuckle. Well, Ravok has already made it clear that he's had some encounter with them. I doubt we'll be able to keep his status secret, but Again.
Sword safety will protect him, I'm sure.
Again, they will ask us for everything that we know, and I simply can't provide that to them.
So we don't tell them anything?
Ravok, I'm not going to tell you what you have to do. If you feel like you need to go to them for your own health and safety, then by all means. I'm just saying, I'm here for you, but I will not be at their disposal.
I'm not worried about my own health or safety in any capacity, really. I just don't... This is a first for me, and I don't know what to do. I just want to go to school.
I cannot be held responsible
to learn.
Good to see you, Mr. Mittens. No, I cannot tell you how to go about this because this is a massive choice. I don't know what goes on from this point forward. If whichever step you take, you've already fallen into a situation where you're attached to some otherworldly spirit in a capacity that I don't know. I can't guide you further. I can just give you my support with whatever choice you make.
Just Ravok, just like completely at a loss for words, just looks at Dawn and just, what?
Don't worry.
Am I doing the right thing? Did I mess up?
Truths that I know, and I look at Minerva. I think I'm starting to figure out the difference between the truth and a Minerva. I'll help keep
I
your
wish I
Minerva.
got to hear all of that. I'm so sorry, Jareth.
Oh, God. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I think I'm starting to know the difference between the truth and Minerva secrets. And I'll try to protect your Minerva secrets.
Thank you.
Chip says, if it's any consolation, I think we could do this ourselves just fine without sharing the glory or whatever with those fools. We've got a very expensive and valuable thing here. Patchius just said that a lot of people want it. I think we could make a lot of money off of this, and not just money, but favor.
Alright, well, that's one vote for sell our souls. Anyone else?
I think I already did sell my soul, so...
A part of it.
Chip, anybody who wants it is gonna want the whole... his body, and I don't want to try to put a price on Ravok. He's and wonderful Ravok, and
I didn't.
I don't know what you did to Ravok, but we know that you said love.
You said love and nice and good things.
I heard whole of his body.
Love the whole of his body. Wow, we're learning things.
That's just me. I certainly did say something. I'm imagining you guys probably don't hear me. Yeah, I ruffle his hair. That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
We heard that part.
Okay.
We heard that part.
We did hear that part. It's weird. It's like every third word you say gets cut. I'm assuming it's got something to do with the internet.
I think there's a weird thing with the mic trigger. I think it tends to start a little too late for, like, if you pause in your words, it cuts out, like it's no longer going to record, and then it, like, understands, oh, she's talking again, and then starts, like, recording again. It's real weird.
I'm going to see if I can't give you my old microphone that it is just a 360 microphone, so it picks up all sound in 360 degrees. But if that works better than your microphone and your computer, I can see if I can't give that to you.
Oh no, you guys! Every single time that I get home and I get on my computer and my head, you guys say I sound beautiful. This is just because I'm on my phone driving. That's
probably what it is then. Shame.
This is my government track phone that we get mentioned in every episode. If you're a fan and you watch our streams, now's when we talk about Jared's phone quality.
Every single time. Alright. So the decision is to go before the masters, and it sounds like most are in favor of getting their help, telling them what happened, and figuring out what it is they want you to do.
That's been my vote since I got here. Kind of like, if I'm go here, then any problem that's mine should belong to the... But, like, Minerva has taught me to think more clearly about things.
That's probably good.
Yeah. But now I get to tell the truth and be suspicious of the faculty. It's like a win-win.
All right.
Whereas I'm just, fuck authority.
And all those who
Authority anarchist. Minerva's probably got that tattooed somewhere.
I don't give a damn about my bad reputation.
So, eventually, a messenger comes running, calling you all to stand before the headmasters. Something that they call on the horns. You are brought to the Archifier building. You are made to go into a room and open and sort of a council chamber-esque room with a slightly elevated platform and tall ceilings with an overhanging balcony. Across all of the walls, you can see depictions of the current and former headmasters. There are 6 chairs displayed out before you, with the familiar faces of the known and current headmasters. As you walk in, there are 2 university guards standing at the door, who nod as you are brought inside and step outside and away. It is now just the 6 headmasters and you all in the room. Your other companions are not currently with you, but it is said that they will be brought here separately as they could not be found at the present time. The headmasters that you see here are Blackwell, the martial headmaster, Alwyn, the arcane headmaster, Master Lahara, the arcanist or the adroit headmaster, and 3 others that I don't feel like naming right now, but they are the students of all of the disciplines, the headmasters of all the disciplines of the university. You've got magic, academic, craftsman, adroit or artificing. You've got medical. You've got diplomatic and Nexian bond weaving.
I file into attendance wherever they expect me to stand.
Seems like there's a lowered shape in the floor for all of you to stand. Master Alwyn.
I stand at the back of the room unless literally told to go forward.
No, you don't have to. You can stand wherever you want to in the room. It doesn't seem like there's a big sign that says please stand here, but it does look like the implication is to stand in the middle of the room so that all of the ire of the headmasters is focused on you. But
I don't.
From the back of the room, you can see the many paintings of the former headmasters that line the walls and go up for miles, and then the balcony that overhangs. There's nobody up there, though. What were you about to say, Dawn? I'm sorry.
You're okay. So there are 9 faculty members. I might be
There are
9
6
faculty members.
There are 6.
6. Okay. So as I enter the room, I'm going to use vampirism that it's written down on my sheet, which is inside. I'm about to reach it in a couple of moments.
Is it the one that you address the room and kind of lighten the mood?
Yeah, I just kind of get the whole faction in the room on my side before we...
Yes, I believe that gives you bonuses to all social checks made in the room if you succeed.
Yeah.
I'm going
the last
to.
pack, it does.
I'm going to say that the difficulty for this is relatively high because of the difference in like class between you and them. More along like I know the size of the room is technically a small, but the severity of the situation is pretty big. So I'm going to increase the difficulty class because of that.
The issues in this room being appealed to were quite large.
Quite large indeed. Let me look up what the check what need be made for that. I believe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is an opposed.
I think it's just a difficulty class. I don't think they oppose anything, as far as I'm aware. There we go. Let's see here. I think it's a pretty high one. Before a confrontation starts, you may address the budding tension in the attempts to de-escalate the situation. Choose a target. So one of them gives your opponents negatives throughout the round. The other is when not in a confrontation, you may make a social plus presence check with a goal of 10 for a small room, 14 for a medium, or 18 for a large. I'm going to call this a medium-sized room. If you succeed the check, your magnetic personality makes people easier to talk to, and then you gain a bonus to do it. If you fail, though, you take a -1 penalty to all social checks in this room. So you either gain a pretty sizable bonus, or you take a -1 penalty to all social checks. Or you can do the other one, which I think gives them negatives.
Yes. So I rolled. Said it was a social present.
Yeah. Are you doing comedic banter, or are you doing
It's the one that gives me the benefits. Next.
I think okay, cool. Yeah. That's comedic banter. Yeah, you basically just like ease the mood of the room. Yeah, social presence check with a check goal of 14.
Yes. So that was a 9 plus a 9.
Beautiful. That is perfect. You walk up, say something witty and clever and calming, disarming even, to lower the tensions of the room. Everybody calms down a little bit. Everybody feels a little less tense. You can actually see the ease, the slackened, the tense jaws unclench, the tight shoulders relax a little bit. The people in front of you, the headmasters, are caught off guard, we'll say, or are no longer on guard. Sorry. You now gain a plus. I think it's a full 1d4 to all social checks you make in this room.
Ooh, fuck yeah. Sick. Then, I use this time to just kind of get myself comfortable, and I kind of around, make sure I'm getting comfortable first, too, before we speak.
Yeah.
Just make us a little bit of breathing room, basically.
Absolutely. You get a chuckle from one of the headmasters or two, and Ravok, you notice Master Lohara eyeing your arm. He's looking at it up and down. He's looking like he's forming some kind of mathematical equation in his head. You can even see him move his fingers a couple of times in some sort of counting method. Eventually, Master Alwyn goes, "Good evening, students. I do apologize for the nature of your visit and for not giving you ample time to gather yourself before waking. Ravok, I do very much enjoy seeing that you are awake and well. I am sorry that you suffered at the hands of a magical entity, and we were not there to help you. 'Twas our folly. Though you were in a part of town that," and he raises an eyebrow at you, you shouldn't have been in. I know you were there for good reason and with good intention. And you brought a student back to us, one that we've questioned severely, and gained some further information on what happened. You all, before I continue, are heroes. I should tell you this. You saved many, many lives today, and avenged many more. You are not here to be chastised. You are here to be rewarded. Let me make that clear before we continue. You all may lower your guard. He did the same
After he
thing...
says that...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. After he says that, I need to ask, is Heko and Varen here with us?
They are not. Your master, what's his name? Patch. That is
Could
Patch.
I have convinced Heko to come?
No, they couldn't be found. They seem to be in a place where they can't be found right now. It is...
Thaddeus didn't come with us either?
What's up?
Thaddeus didn't come with us either?
If you want him to come in the room, he will. He's allowed to. He wasn't going to if you didn't want him to.
Mm-hmm. I would like to mention to him, there's the possibility that I will need Master On to come rescue us from the situation. Can you ask him to open a line of correspondence should I need him?
I'm sorry, do you mean right now?
I'd look him in the eyes. Well, I don't mean in a half hour from now.
I can go get him to intervene. I mean, it wouldn't be unexpected, but could I ask why?
Because he's the only one that if this goes south, I'll be able to count on, and they'll have the authority to get us out of here.
He nods his head back and forth, and he gives you a nod saying that he's going to do exactly that. He says, if things go bad...
I give him the stick that I was given earlier. Have him do something like this for me. It was the stick that vibrated shit.
He looks at it. He knows exactly what it is. He tells you to hold it in your hand.
I nod.
As you are both holding it, he breaks it again into an even smaller part. He says whoever else has the other half of this is going to feel it too, but he knocks on it 3 times. Same thing
They
happens.
won't know.
He puts it in his pocket, and he takes off.
That was it.
Yeah, if it matters, they probably have the totally bullshit hall pass that we made.
Oh, yeah. That's also a thing.
On it. It's probably like in evidence lockup with On's signature somewhere on it.
Probably.
I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. But Thaddeus leaves the room, closes the door discreetly behind himself. You do see one of the headmasters, specifically Headmaster Fizz, a large dverger, stone skin dverger, who gives like an eye at the door as Patch leaves, and a scowl of loathing passes over his rictus grimace. But Alwyn continues. You all have an opportunity here, as well as a great and terrible burden. For this, I again apologize. Once every so often, a convergence of sorts happens. A thing comes together. Long ago, before mortals could wield Aurora with great power and ease, we needed gods to help us, but gods could only do so much without a vessel. But when they would take a mortal vessel, they would not be as powerful as they once were. Their powers were diminished in mortal form. So many came together to construct and create a tool, a perfect vessel, or at the very least a tool that can forge a perfect vessel. It was used in the service of mortality for many years, but it was discovered by nefarious entities and used to our peril, more times than for good. Because of this, we destroyed it. Mortals. We separated the pieces and scattered them throughout the world. But these pieces have a desire, a mind of their own, with only the desire to reunify, and to forge a vessel for powerful entities. It does not care who wields it. It only cares that it gets used. You have come in contact with multiples of these pieces. It is about the time that they would converge. Unfortunately, it had chosen this place as its convergence point, and you lot, being new students of great purpose, have been put in the middle. You are beings known as Fateless. You have the power to choose and forge your own paths. Many students here are somewhat of this nature, but you come with it, with power. This is more a burden than it is a gift, but you should know you are invisible to dictation. Your path is fuzzy and unclear. So, I ask you this. Would you accept the path of a hero and take on the burden of a quest to keep the fractures of Adjor out of the hands of those who do not deserve it?
That is our intention.
He nods. I had hoped so. I truly did. We have a war happening to the south, and one day the war will reach us. It has been seen. It has been known. Fate has guided misfortune. However, with you, and with the fractures of Adjor, you could find a powerful ally who could make this war be gone. Do you understand what I'm asking of you?
It almost feels silly now to ask. Gulp. Does this mean the school cover?
A couple of the professors chuckle. One of them scowls, Master Fiss, and Master Alwyn looks surprised. Well, he sighs. Make me a social plus persuasion check. It's going to be, I mean, you get the plus D4, so.
I'm sorry, I was muted. A social
Yeah, social persuasion.
I'm gonna do this separately here. I just got home. Oh, that'd be funny as for 8, 10, 12.
12 is good. 12 is good enough. Barely, but good enough. You
And then we're like, damn, are we really gonna be like debt free? Shit.
the professor, the headmaster, Master Alwyn, says, your accommodations will be met, and your course load will increase in its intensity. You will be expected to do more than the average student. The knowledge of your involvement in this will be kept secret from your peers. You will not be known until after everything is over, for your safety and for the safety of the mission. You are all first-term students. You are all in over your heads. It is our job to spend the rest of the semester training you up to make sure that you are ready and push you onward to the next term early. You will become Term 2 students in 2 weeks. Do you understand?
I look at everyone one last time. Just like a big...
Chip goes, so, what you're saying is you're gonna make us do more work? Yes, child. You are going to have to do more work. A lot more.
But they won't make you pay for it, Chip. That means all the money you make is for us.
Chip rolls his eyes, his beady black eyes in his head, and shrugs. Okay,
Nerva
whatever you
steps
guys
from the
want.
back of the room at this point.
Okay.
So what I'm hearing is that you're going to push us forward in order to weaponize us.
He sighs. If you wish to call it that, yes.
I call what I see. Let's not be pedantic about our intentions.
Times are hard. The world is facing a terrible, terrible danger. We've hoped to shelter the students from things so far away, but news is spreading and the fires are growing. They have reached the free lands, and if they conquer that, they will be a stone's throw from Taydalen.
Your words earlier, you said you wish to keep the fractures from those that do not deserve them. I am to assume that you are implying that you're the hands that deserve them.
We have beings, deities, that are trustworthy. They have been expensed in the past to deal with similar situations. Gods of old, with diminished power, but with righteous intent.
So you wish not to wield the burden yourselves, but simply pass it on to even yet another entity.
Mortals cannot wield the power of the Azure without suffering greatly.
So you wish to empower another being to wield a weapon on your behalf to fight a war for you.
Yes.
And who is this being that you wish to entrust world-shattering power to?
It is a being called Jadel. A former druid turned god during the Fey Wars.
And why am I only now hearing of them?
You actually met a being called Jadel. Not
When?
before you started the university. On your travels northward, you came to a place called Three Tree Crossing. There was a person behind the wooden bar, a person called Jadel. They appeared to be half Haltesia, half Aleph. They had tattoos similar to that of an Umberling, but they had antlers like a Haltesia. They had 6 fingers like a Haltesia, but they had pale green skin and wide set pupils.
I actually mentioned this individual out. Is this who you're speaking of?
Yes. Jardel had went into a retiring of sorts and took up the task of ensuring travelers' safety.
Do they know that you wish to conscript them for your war?
They do not. But
Well, then it seems you have more pieces to put into play before you can promise us anything.
we do. You were the first part, the first hope.
Then let me tell you this. My desire is to help my guild. Whatever they choose, I'll assist them. But you will not have my sworn help until I can meet this Jadel and see what they have to say about it.
We have sent for him. We hope to have him meeting with us in a week's time. Well, we had sent for him a week ago. We hope to see him soon. Our messenger should have arrived sometime today.
Then I have nothing else to say until that conversation takes place. And I gesture to Dawn. Any further questions? Dawn? Dawn,
Yeah,
you're alive.
I was unmuting. Sorry.
You good?
I sort of like
Don't leave me hanging, Dawn.
Don!
exactly. Cool. No. So I look back at you, I nod my head to you, and I say, just like back to cheesing with the professors. Basically, I'll just go back to lightening the mood with the professor. Turn like so.
You said words, I didn't hear them.
How about our lodgings?
Your dorms, you would be treated just as a regular student. You will keep the same dorm rooms you have for the first term, and at second semester you will be expected to find your own lodgings. However, we will strongly encourage and facilitate the use of our dormitories, our rooms and stays. That way we can make sure you are safe within our wardings.
Well, if part of the tuition cost was and second semester is going to fast track for us to 2 weeks from now, then can we work something out? Can you make sure that we keep our rooms for more than 2 weeks?
He chuckles.
I'm
Yes.
too young and stressed to be worrying about finding an apartment in Cartia. Oof.
Yes. You may keep your rooms and lodgings for 2 weeks and longer.
Okay, so all right. And if I have, say, a hideout worked up by then for my cool superhero team, is that going to be a problem? Could the school protect it?
You
Or
are asking.
maybe a water bill? Or
We are going to give you the knowledge and abilities in the next 2 weeks and months thereafter towards your own buildings and efficiency. You should not need our help when we are done with you.
I simply look at Dawn and I'd say out loud, Dawn, I have you covered.
I trust you. I guess I'm done haggling. I put like a row of metaphor cards.
You needn't
Fall back.
worry about tuition. You needn't worry about lodging. And you needn't worry about protection while you are on the campus. However, we are not keeping you as prisoners. You may come and go as you please. We just need you to understand that when you leave the university grounds, you will no longer be warded.
Yeah, I'm sure we can work the rituals and teaching us. I mean, into the class schedule.
He nods.
Anyway.
Regardless of your acceptance of the quest, you will still be treated as regular students. You say yes if you say no. Either way, you may remain enrolled here, and you have our deepest and most sincere respect and appreciation.
As soon as it's clear I can leave, I'm gonna head out to Master On.
Okay. Just as you start to realize the conversation is coming to an end, you hear Master Lahara speak up. And you, boy with missing arm, come see me after class. I will help you fix your broken bones.
His name is Ravok, I say as I open the door.
He looks up
And
at
I
you.
think my bones are the only thing that aren't broken.
Yes. Just the skin. I will give you new and better skin. This will help.
Okay, I'll see you after class.
Good. By class, I mean this one. You will come now. He stands up without dismissing himself and walks out of the classroom. Past you, through the middle. You can tell that it's not meant for that. The headmasters are not supposed to do that. You also notice he's the only headmaster not wearing ridiculous master's robes. He's wearing a tunic and a apron.
Wonderful. I look at Dawn and Minerva and go, well, I guess I'm going now.
A lot of you are welcome to follow your friend and watch him get new limbs.
He just needs the one, right?
Master Alwyn, is the pomposity done with? May we be done with this sitting and talking. I have work to do on students who are very important. The master goes, Yes, Master Lahara. You may take the students away now. Just as he says that, the doors burst open and Master On comes in. Excuse me.
Oh, did he run past me?
Who, Master On?
Yeah, because I was leaving the door to go get him right as he is supposed to be coming in.
As you go to open the door, you hear thud, 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 thud at the doors, and suddenly they burst open. You have to stumble back to not be hit by the doors. They are burst open with some sort of magic. You can tell that he cast a spell to burst the doors open. And he walks in, causing a ridiculous flourish of light display to come out around him. All of the masters roll their eyes. He says, Sorry to interrupt, but I'm going to be needing to take these students off your hands.
Right. But I'm already going with him.
He looks at
I
you.
look at
Lahara.
Is this, and I gesture with the stick upwards, is this to do with this?
He looks at you. I don't know. Probably. Anyway.
Right, I'll go with you. The rest of them, well, Dawn, if you want to come with Ravok, I think you have places to be.
You overhear an argument between Fiss and On, where Fiss goes, This is ridiculous! You can't just be barging into important meetings! And On goes, Oh, quiet your yammering skull cave, you old fuck! And they just argue back and forth like that for a while. Until eventually Alwyn yells, Silence! And the room literally goes quiet. No sound can be made. And Master Alwyn goes, Everyone is dismissed. And the scene is over. Minerva, you said you were going with On?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Dawn?
I'm gonna follow. Yeah, I'm gonna quietly follow Minerva.
Okay. And Ravok follows Lahara.
Correct. To get new skin.
To get new skin. Lahara leads you, Ravok, away from the argument and ridiculous display of, as Master Lahara said, pomposity, and leads you down the hallways and out the building. He says, I cannot stand the yammering of old fools.
They do seem to love the sound of their own voices.
They do. They talk more than they act, and he shakes his head. I should not be revealing this information to students. Apologies.
No, we sort of realized that, which is why we went without permission to go. And now I don't have an arm.
Exactly. You acted foolishly and recklessly, and look where it got you. Armless.
Being praised as heroes?
He looks at you. Easy, student. You should know your place.
You're right.
Your place is weak. Do not worry. We will make you strong. Strong enough to stand up to the... And he gives like a knowing smirk. Pomposity of old fools. You will be able to make... You will be able to make your own decisions without worrying of hurting yourself and making yourself...
Don't look at the Six of Hearts chat.
Oh, God.
I'm scared.
Oh, God. Medieval old men. Yes, I love that. I love that fucking movie. Because I take things away from stupid evil old men. He continues walking you until he takes you up the stairs, through the courtyard, around a corner.
The TV show.
Yes. And eventually into the fissery. The simply built metal and stone building. It is a square building with no ornamentation or extravagance to it at all. It looks kind of squat and boring compared to the archive building that's next to it, that is massive and regaled with ornamentation and, as Master Lahara would probably put it, pomposity. But the artifice building is squat, bland, and functional. He opens the door with a large metal key into a large metal lock. It twists and clicks. He pushes it in further. It twists and clicks again. You see him twist his hands in a series of quick, curt gestures, and then he casts a spell, and he slams his hand on the door. You notice he does not use Aurora to do this. The door opens for him, and you all step inside. The door remains open, and you see him flip a sign over that says, Artificery is open for students who wish to do comms work. He goes inside, gestures for you to follow him, and he goes about walking around the room and grabbing equipment and utensils. He talks to you for roughly an hour while he builds you a mechanical arm, an automail arm. He says, do you want the arm to be strong or fast?
Strong. Definitely strong. Also, check the 6-part chat if you don't still have it open.
Okay. Yes, exactly that. He says, how much spell casting do you plan to be doing? How dexterous do you need the fingers to be?
Well, if I can learn to do what the sword sages do, I should be able to just, do Orphic abilities, so I don't plan on doing too much actual spell casting. And as long as it can hold a sword, that's really all I need.
Calloused fingers are better for gripping. And he just goes to work, making a arm that matches your other one in size and shape. He says, as you grow and get bigger, you are very small now. You will need to return to me to change the shape of your arm, lest you want to be lopsided. You cannot tell if he was making a joke.
I will probably be returning.
Good.
I don't like being lopsided.
No one does. Eventually, he has an arm built. He says, this is going to be unpleasant. He grabs your skeleton bone arm. He says, bite this, And he shoves a leather belt in your mouth. And
Oh.
he says, normally I do not have to work with bones, but these are stubborn. You have stubborn bones, and for this reason you will feel pain. Bite hard and do not scream. And he shoves your bone arm into the metal ornamentation, the automail arm. I need you to make me a physical fortitude check.
10.
10. It hurts like hell. You lose 1 morale, but you do not lose 1d6 morale. And you feel a shock wave of pain go from the fingertips of your bone all the way up to your shoulder and reverberate through your body. It is painful and unpleasant, but quick and efficient. He says, all right, now I need you to flex all your muscles carefully and slowly while I fit the nerve endings into the automail. This takes a while and it is not pleasant, it is very painful, and it is exhausting. However, your check was high enough. You do not lose any more morale or stamina throughout it, but you do end this process in great pain, but with a fully functional automail arm. You do not need to burn stamina to use it. It functions fully on its own. However, you still could to activate the bones underneath. We are going to take a quick break, and I'm going to use the bathroom. Anybody else who needs to do so may. When we return, we'll be switching over to Minerva and Dawn following on. I'll be back.
But I thanked him for the permission to use the restroom.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
Mom.
I'm back. I'm gonna leave and come back just in case. I return. But you have not. Oh no, we lost Jareth. I am Miss Nesbit.
Thank you.
Oh, Jesus. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. So you got your arm
question
back.
in the chat.
Hello. So Ravok got his
Beautiful.
arm back. Ravok, before we switch scenes, is there anything you'd like to say after getting your arm put back on?
I'm gonna say ow. Also, I have a
I'm
question.
going to say ow. Yeah, what's your question?
How do we calculate stamina again?
Stamina is your focus plus your fortitude skill.
Okay. What happened if you go into negative stamina?
Nothing. You just you just have 0 stamina. I thought about putting like a lethargic or a like condition involved with hitting 0 or negative stamina, but
But yeah, I was just wondering because earlier you said I lost 6 stamina
Yeah.
to eat,
Yep.
and
4.
I only have 5 stamina.
I think it was 4. It might have been 6. 6 feels like a lot though.
I thought you said 6. You might have said 4.
People in Fateless get tired, bro. It's tiring sometimes.
It is tiring. Yeah, I can't see my.
I mean, if there's no if I don't pass out from anything if I lose 6, I'm just gonna go with I'm at 0 stamina because that makes sense.
Yep. Zero stamina. You just have no stamina remaining after that, and that encounter and the like. I'm pretty sure it's 4 because it's a D4, so you lose a D4 of stamina. Yeah. I had you roll a 4 and you rolled a 4, so I said lose that much stamina. So it was 4. So you have 1. You have 1 stamina.
Yeah, but then I lost it getting my new arm put on.
Oh, you did. So now you have 0 stamina, which makes sense.
You traded your arm for power, and now you're trading your stamina for your arm back.
Correct.
So you're a little tired. It's like a net win if you're just a little tired.
Yeah, you're just a little tired at the end of this. I mean, like the day is literally just starting, but you are starting the day quite tired.
It's fine. I've been kind of useless for the past week, so
It's true. You've done nothing at all for an entire week. But
Fucking
sit there and
bed
be
sores.
lethargic. Yeah, your back probably hurts. I mean, Eris was looking over you specifically, so you had like a master medical, like arcane wizard over your bedside, making sure that your body
Mommy.
didn't. Yeah, thanks, mommy. Making sure your body didn't atrophy. So.
You know, I want to say that at one point during the week, Ravok half woke up and went, "Hi, mommy," and then went immediately back to sleep.
Immediately back to sleep. After all of this is done, he gives you like specific examples of things that you shouldn't do with the arm and things that you should do with the arm and ways to make sure the arm is safe. And when you go to rest at the night, here are like ways to repair the arm. Essentially, if you spend the time repairing the arm, when you rest, your arm heals just like your body because you're repairing it. He walks you through how to repair it, and yeah, that's it. So if you listen to him, which I'm sure you do, he tells you he tells you how to fix the arm and what to do to repair it. He says, in case of extreme damage, you will have to come back to me to have it fixed. But minor repairs, scratches, fixing the tendons, all of these things are simple and easily done. All you need is this tool and twisting at the nodes. You know nodes? He says nodes as he grabs your arm and shakes it, pointing at the specific spots. He says, you will be weak to lightning. If you are struck by lightning, it will cause malfunctions and your arm may stop working. Do not get struck by lightning. Relar.
That's a good thing we already fought Everjay.
Do my best to not get struck by lightning.
Good. Too many students are getting struck by lightning. It happens so often. It is stupid. Why are you always around lightning, I say? They say, because it's magic. I say, you don't need magic lightning. Lightning comes from sky. Lightning is not necessary for magic. Stupid students, I say.
What if there's an old pirate that happens to shoot lightning from his fingertips, saying something about unlimited power or whatever.
Then I would say stay
It
away.
be unlimited power from me lightning fingers. I be striking down all of the pirates on the South Sea. Anyway.
Yeah.
He says, then you stay away from mad old men shooting lightning. I do not think I need to tell you such simple things. Stay away from old crazy men shooting lightning.
Well, yeah, but sometimes you're in an old crypt with crazy old men shooting lightning, and then you touch a magical rock that melts the skin off your arm, and you go into immense pain, and then a coma for a week, and then you wake up and have to get accosted by the people that you trust the most in this world because they're giving you an education, and now you're being told to not do exactly that by a person who just gave you a brand new metal arm. So things happen in life.
He puts his hand on your shoulders and says, you need to get laid. And he turns you around and pushes you out the door.
He's not.
I'm 6.
I'm 6, exactly.
He pushes you out the door and says, do not go near lightning. Do not get it fully submerged in water for too long. And, well, learn a lightning warding spell if you insist on fighting ridiculous old pirate men who shoot lightning out of their hands. Now, I must prepare my class for the morning. Please, if you have any questions, come back later.
Okay. I walk off. I walk to see who I can talk to about transferring to one of his classes.
Okay. It is fully doable. You just ask him. He would be the person, or the person at the desk outside of his class. You would.
I asked them. He told me to come back later.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. They say, yeah, sure. I can pencil you in. All you gotta do is you just fill out this paperwork, and we'll just remove one of your classes you don't want, and we'll put that one in instead.
Jedi Master Shaggy.
He pencils you in. He just puts you in with your other classmate. Your other classmate being Varen. Varen also has classes with him, so you just would go with Varen as well.
I'll just swap on my 4 Tokugawa classes for that.
Yeah. The other two. You follow Master On, who walks away at a brisk pace, occasionally turning and looking back at you all. He stops and turns around and looks at you both. What do you want? Can you hear me? Am I silent again?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I can't hear anyone else, but I can hear you.
Ah, okay. So it's
I can hear you.
Okay. Cool.
I'm waiting for the person who's actioning the teacher here to talk to them.
Tristan explain.
Tristan.
No, sorry, am I being talked to right now?
You are.
Yeah.
Master
Oh,
On.
fuck, my bad. I missed that part.
No, you're
My
okay.
bad.
I changed scenes. I said the other two, but I was referring to
Oh,
Minerva and Dawn.
yeah,
I should have
sorry.
said Minerva and Dawn.
Yeah, okay,
No,
cool,
you're
cool.
okay.
What's up?
She's or Master On. He just is walking at a brisk pace, quickly. He occasionally turns back and looks at you, Wolf. He looks at you, makes like a quizzical look, and then quickly turns a corner and walks faster. So you guys continue to follow.
I try to catch up to him if it's possible.
It is possible. He's just walking at a brisk pace. Eventually, he stops and turns around in the middle of a courtyard and says, "Why are you following me?"
Because I need to know whether or not what they're trying to sell us is a real, something we should be buying into. You're the only one with and I understand that saying this is ridiculous, but you're the only one that makes sense.
He laughs long and hard at this. It is not a normal laugh. He eventually gets the grip on himself and says, "Oh, that's a first. Okay, you want to know if the god they want to give the weapon to is a good god? I'll give you a secret. No god.
No, not just that.
God.
Just the whole story from start to finish. Them trying to use us as a weapon to accrue them more power to wield as a weapon. The whole story. What is your opinion of it.
I think it's all bullshit. You're the ones in possession of the rock, right?
He says with knowing eyes. It's pretty clear that the headmasters didn't know that you're in possession of any, but he seems to know. His eyes glow with a glimmering knowledge.
So use it the way you want to.
I'll take it under advisement. But as to their intentions with it, what do you make of it?
They think that the Crimson Order is going to march up here and demand we all stop fighting with magic and put our arcane weapons down and pledge fealty to their fucking god and their fucking emperor. Well, we're not going to do that, obviously. Taydalen's already preparing to fight the war. So they're asking you to be little soldiers in their little war.
So they're motivated by fear and self-preservation, and they wish to sacrifice us on that altar.
It's a little bit more altruistic than you think. They have the idea that the greater good is preserving magic. The other guys think it's not. It's really just a difference in opinion. But a lot of people's cultures are being stepped on. I mean, if I'm being honest, if they walked up to me and said, "Don't use magic," I would insist otherwise.
So, let's say, for example, you had this power. You would still use it as a weapon to prevent those to tell you not to utilize magic anymore.
I don't really know what I would do if I had it. I don't think I really want it. I don't have a need for it.
It's not an offer, it's a question.
Oh. Well, if I were you, I'd probably pick the horse I wanted to bet on. You can't use it yourself. I promise you, you don't want to go down that road. But if you...
He makes a dramatic gesture of putting a crown off his head onto yours.
King make.
This champion that they've chosen, they are an appropriate vessel for this power?
I don't know who's the champion.
I'd give the name, I keep forgetting. Sorry, Dylan.
It's okay, Jadel.
He says, Jadel. Yeah, a long time ago, Jadel was a druid warrior who fought as a bridge between the Fae and the mortals. He didn't pick a side. He was a non-biased party, picking the good in both. If you ask me, I think he's a goody two-shoes. He's gonna make the best decision for everybody involved. But that's not always gonna be in your best interest.
Well, let's say that it could be. Do you believe that he's someone that could be approached with rational thought, reason, and given understanding of the situation of things? And, well, more importantly, that after we hand him this power, he won't just become the pawn of the... I almost said church. The pawn of the... help me out here. The school here.
School. He says...
No. Jadel cannot be made anyone's pawn. Many have tried, and the fool decides to sit in his tree house and serve coffee to assholes. That seems to be what he wants to do with the rest of his eternity. I would suggest otherwise, but
he gestures to himself.
I'm not really one to talk.
Well, I intend to talk to him about all of this. As I enter this conversation, negotiations, whatever you want to call it. Any suggestions for me?
Well, he's about a week's long ride south. So if you've got a week
They
to
sent for
spare-
him a week ago. If he chose to agree to this, he should be arriving within the day, or maybe a day longer if he needed to get his affairs in order.
He'll probably send one of his shades. It's a thing gods do. They make fake mortal bodies out of clay, and they split them up into tiny little, hundreds of little...
He sounds like he's about to go crazy for a second. He starts murmuring and spattering.
He's going to be speaking to us through something that he will be able to understand by proxy.
What? Oh, kind of. Yeah. Like, walking, talking, telephone. He says
Can work
telephone,
with it.
but he doesn't say telephone. He says walking, talking, messenger crow.
I can work with it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as always, it's a pleasure talking with you.
He is no longer paying attention to you as he looks up somewhere distant in the sky and goes, "Oh yeah, that's what I was doing." And he walks away from you.
I chuckle as he does so and shake my head and turn to look at the rest of the group that I think is with us still.
It is just Dawn and Chip with you.
It's just me and Chip here. Songs of yore, they would call them simulacrums.
A Salar what? Excuse me?
Simulacrum. Like an avatar.
Oh.
The gods create avatars and send them places.
Well,
or
should you see
simulacrums.
this
No,
avatar,
but-
hear of it? Should you see this avatar or hear of it? Let me know. I wish to speak to it.
I don't know why you put any faith in anything that psychopath says. The guy's more than half cracked. He should probably be in the scythe himself.
Every time I've double-checked his work and cross-analyzed it with other more affluent sources, he always checks out to be telling the truth.
By
So that's
affluent sources, are you talking about the crazy spider lady? Because she was
I'm
crazy
talking
too.
about people that speak in some things that aren't directly riddles.
Well, if you trust him, Chip shrugs.
Trust
but-
him? No, but I'm certain that he usually tells the truth, and he will act in his own self-interest, which in this case seems to align with ours.
Shakes his head back and forth. Fair enough. Fair enough. So, what are we doing next? Are we just going to follow their little plan to turn us into perfect weapons? I mean, it's to our advantage to get better at what we're doing. I just don't
We
know.
play along for now. We talk to this shade of a god, and we decide if they're worthy of our help. If they're worthy of us placing, again, as I said, earth-shattering power in their hands.
And you, Don? You have the same goals?
I think before we ever thought the school would be on our side, I intended to use everything I learned here to be a hero, save the day, and raise others up. I don't really think I'm doing anything much different now. It's just people are recognizing the greatness I already told them to expect.
Okay.
You go forward as always, Dawn, and I smile at her.
I like people who talk straight. That's kind of why I like Professor On. Now that I've gotten to know him a little better.
Now that you can
He's,
trust him.
He's the kind of person they make words like quirky for. Not quite bad, just weird.
Yeah, weird. That's the way I would... Chip shakes his head.
Well, you're kind of weird too, Chip. You're quirky. I'm quirky.
not weird. I'm elegant and influential.
Well, I think you're those things too, you know. But you are also a man-sized duck.
His jaw just hangs open. I resemble that statement.
You do, in fact, Chip. You do, in fact. Anyway, I have to
And
go
anytime-
figure out whether or not a god is going to be approaching a suit. Anyone else have anything to do today?
Well, this class.
Well, I'd kind of like to go, like, shopping, and I kind of, like, thrust that pocket on my jacket towards you, Minerva, to remind you I have, like, 60,000 gems in here I apparently shoplifted.
How many gems was it again?
60,000.
Oh, well, I guess you'll need that for spending money over the next couple days. If you need a loan, let me know.
A loan? Wow, how much money do you have?
Chip says,
Enough.
actually, I need a loan.
For what exactly,
Chip does need a loan.
Well, you see, the other day when we got together, and we had our little conversations with all of our interested parties. Well, I sort of got together with one of those interested parties and spent a night of gambling and drinking, and racked up a bit of a tab.
So you're saying you have a debt that you need expunged?
Yes.
They also have a loan shark who's still
I was
coming around.
Oh, we don't need
If
to worry
you
about
go-
them anymore.
Well, you do have to
No?
worry. If you want us to help you on this one, you'll have to worry about a different loan shark. That's my point.
You?
But it'll be attached to me.
I am getting the feeling that I may have just... He swallows. Indebted
It's up to you.
myself to someone worse. No offense, Minerva, but you scare the absolute duck shit out of me.
If your debt becomes unbearable, speak to Loudway, and he'll handle you.
Scares the duck shit.
I let him know the office, and I try my best to not smile when he says duck shit.
How much money does Chip actually need to pay back?
Let's find out.
Oh God.
Dylan writes a fantastic NPC and looks at it. It needs a caveat, like something that isn't so awesome.
25,000
debt.
gems. Yep, he is addicted, hopelessly addicted to gambling. 25,000 gems.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not going to step on Minerva's toes so much. Like, I just give them a frank speech, and then as soon as they go to leave, I'm like, hey, Chip, come here. Reach into this pocket.
He says, I've been asked that multiple times, and normally whatever is on the other side I don't want.
Oh, Chip, you can trust me. Just reach into the pocket.
He makes very uncomfortable eye contact with you as he reaches into your pocket.
Yeah, and just plunges his feathered hand into, like, 58,000 shards and jewels and stuff.
Normally, when I'm pickpocketing, it's less... He, like, chuckles. Agreed upon. He just grabs a fistful and pulls his hand out, and he counts out the number of gems. He puts, like, a couple back into your pocket. Conditions?
That's not the kind of friend I am, Chip. I know at some point you're going to end up down at that loan office now that you know Minerva will put a good word in for. So until then, maybe you can help me shop.
Oh,
Just keep me company. Call it square.
Sure. You all do go on your shopping spree, but just type out what you want to buy.
Yeah. I didn't want to roleplay that anyway. I just know Don would like company.
You have a very short window of time anyways before your first classes. All of you share this class together. Are you all attending class today? I'm saying are you, but I'm not actually asking. You all attend class
Yeah.
today.
We go to class. We go to class.
You all go to your class. You find yourselves sitting here amongst many other students in the terraced and slightly raised and elevated platforms, students in front of you and behind you, and you all sit together at your company's table. Your allies are finally here, having said that they had a very uncomfortable conversation with the headmasters about what they were doing moving forward, and Echo, seeming relatively uncomfortable, says that they know too much. But you don't have a whole lot of time to discuss it right now, because you're in class, and it'd be super awkward as you are within earshot of other students.
Nah, man. Anything cool I say today is ending up in Coventry's.
Coventry is actually in this class as well. He's sitting in the back with a group of his other company.
I give him like a not stink eye. What's like when you've been like a rival with someone so long that they're almost like your friend now? Just give him like a knowing look.
Knowing look. He looks at you with a tired look of blind, irritated rage. You can almost hear his teeth crack with how tightly clenched his jaw is.
I blow him a kiss.
He goes like he's about to stand up, but his friend sitting next to him puts their hand on his back and lowers him down. I need you to make me a social plus intimidation check. Intimidation, I guess, isn't really the intention here. I'll say social presence.
Yeah, I'm not intimidating him so much as I'm completely humiliating him.
Yes.
Sorry.
He's gonna roll against. He got an 8 with a natural 1. Jesus Christ, Coventry.
Yeah, that's a 14. And then I think it's called bulk. I'm gonna bulk him.
Oh God.
Make him lose some morale.
Yeah, do it. I think it's also a roll against. I think social presence versus his. I believe it's like mental fortitude.
Or maybe this is coil.
Yeah,
Which one
I
is
think
this?
bulk is a good thing for your friends. Bulk is like,
Yes.
as an instant action, cause an instant target to lose one of. No, it makes them lose their instant action. That wouldn't really do anything to him in this particular.
Is it embossed? Is it embossed? That sounds right, actually, because you capitalize on a failure.
12 meters you can see in here. When you see them fail a check, you may call out their folly and make them lose 1 morale. Yes, absolutely. So next time he fails a check, you can make him lose a morale by making fun of him for failing something. But he does stand up and say, "Get your hands off me!" Slapping his friend's hand off of his back. He puts both of his hands in his pockets, ruffling his jacket behind him, making it do like an elegant trail, and he walks down towards you. He takes his ridiculously plumed hat off the top of his head, and he sits down next to you. He says, "Dawn, I want you to know something. Something you probably already know. I fucking hate you. We are not friends. And if you ever find me alone in an alley, I want you
Am I there?
to fight me so that I can beat the shit out of you. So you can finally know your fucking place. I need you to make me a social fortitude check versus his
Where did this happen again?
social presence. You're in the classroom.
I'm there.
Yeah, you're there.
Oh, cute. Okay, we'll handle this in a moment.
You're going against a 12. Social fortitude.
Oh man, you should not pick a social fight with Dawn.
No, probably not.
Coventry. Oh, Coventry, my guy. So 7 plus 7 is 14.
Yes.
I keep like a shark-fanged smile the whole time he's kind of shit-talking me. Like, I look like I'm getting a rise out of this, while somebody else might be, like, totally freaked out.
Oh,
Well, with you just threatening me with a good time like that, Coventry, I'll have a free period coming up at some point soon. Hell, I could catch you in between the classes.
Oh, you're free in between classes. That's
Yeah, I can
excellent.
make time for you, Coventry,
Also,
anytime.
He did just technically fail a check, so he does lose 1 morale.
Yeah, this is me embossing him.
Yeah, he says, "Fine, demon. I challenge you to a Wara Kuarai in between classes today. See who the better mage is."
Oh, I've got no question that you're the better mage. But I'll see you there.
You will.
That way you can show me my place.
You can bring 2 of your friends, and I'll bring 2 of mine.
I chuckle from wherever I'm at. Oh, are we meeting in another dark alley, dearie?
Oh no, this won't be a dark alley, hun. This will
Well,
be...
the last time we met, I watched you get smacked on your poor ass by your teacher, and then you went and dropped that poor mommet on the ground, and I just had to scoop it up. And I gave him a little ta-ta wave.
Make me a social intimidation.
All
I
right.
have all this like realization now. I kind of put 2 and 2 together there about that. I wasn't there for that, Minerva,
No.
but I'm sure that you make plenty better versions of me in your spare time, don't you, Coventry?
Fucking goddamn it! Rolled a 1. All right, it's a 5.
It's a 5. He turns and looks at you with a smile, like he's fully in composure. Oh,
Yeah.
well, I don't know who you were talking about, but it's no surprise that the Moon Knife is skulking around in dark alleys. You should... He smiles. Keep your dark escapades a little more private.
I give him back a smile. Well, I'll tell you what.
You do
How
lo-
about you
you
go
lose 1 morale.
Not fair. I give him a little
Yeah.
smile back. Well, how about this? How about you go tell dear old dad that the Moon Knife wishes to have a chat? Or, if you're not, then I can arrange it on my own.
I don't know, Minerva. Something tells me after he puts me in his place, or whatever, his dad will want to talk to me anyway. And I
Oh,
kind of just
I'm sure
follow my knuckles.
I'm sure Daddy knows plenty about what he's up to in his spare time.
My father is so far above you, it's laughable to suggest that you would even be able to stand within his company. You...
I guess we'll see then, won't we?
He looks at the both.
I'm not worried about your dad, Coventry. This ass-kicking is just for you.
Oh no. No. It's all yours, Don. Isn't that right? Everything is all yours. At the very least, you think it is. You think you're some sort of hero, Don. Well, I'm going to prove to you that there are no fucking heroes. There are only the excellent and the lesser. He stands up from the table and starts to walk.
You make the choice to be less than excellent every time you decide to flaunt your wealth and talent without actually backing it up. You could be a hero, Coventry. That's why I don't like you. And I don't care that you don't like me, because I am a hero. I'll see you after class.
He laughs. You're such a child. He goes back up to his table, but one more volley of choice words. Go ahead and make the check. He is going to give himself an arcane bonus. 13 is your check roll. He still rolled so poorly, even with all that.
I'm gonna sudden sense his check first. Before I roll. So go ahead and roll a d4 and ship it off of that.
Yeah. It's still a 13, so you can sudden sense it. That just reduces his check by a d4, right?
Yep, I'm rolling it. Hold on. It's 4, so it's a 9, actually. And I'm going to imagine that before I roll this, I just kind of bump the chair into the desk he's walking past to just kind of give him a hip tap.
Oh, yeah. He goes, "You're such a and then his foot catches the edge of the chair. He stumbles a little bit, and his hip hits the table, and he goes, and he cuts off the last word, which you knew was going to be child, but...
Yeah. I don't like...
Didn't get
You
to
said
say
social fortitude?
Yes, social fortitude. No. It'll be, yeah. It'll be social... We'll say this time social instinct, I think? Or maybe social instinct.
A social instinct. Damn, it's a 7.
It's a 7. It's still less. Regardless of him getting the word out, him calling you a child still hurts a little bit. You lose 1 morale.
I actually, not even a little bit. Don is clearly fuming now, and I kind of turn back and look up at the teacher, realizing there is a teacher here still trying to do their job.
He's
and I'm clearly fuming.
This is all technically before class. He's still writing the lesson up on the chalkboard. The other students though are obviously walking with are watching this all happen with a look of You all do lose 1 point of favor with the surrounding community. the student council, but your favor with them is pretty high, so losing one doesn't really hurt you that much. They all think very highly of you, so losing one little point, but Coventry and
surrounding community, as in
just
The student body.
There will be
Student.
rumors going around that you all got your ass handed to you socially by Coventry, which
basically that he was able to talk us down. Gotcha, fair
yeah,
enough.
basically. And obviously, because of the way rumors go, it'll probably get spread out of proportion, and it'll probably make you all look bad, and that's why you lose 1 point of favor. But Coventry won that argument, and that's the result. But
It do be that way. Like I
do.
said, ones are fun. I am very frequently roll those on here. I roll ones or tens. Have fun with that.
oh yeah, the professor.
I'm basically Chip if I had more numbers.
Yeah. The professor eventually goes, if you're done having your unnecessary conversations, it's Master Ash, the Dracian professor. I would like to begin my lesson, if I may. He looks at you, Dawn.
I fix my hair and sit down.
He nods. Good. Today we're going to be learning about something called... And by the way, all of you are here. Ravok, Minerva, Dawn, Chip, Echo, Varen, you're all here. Today we're going to be learning about something called... Oh, I'm gonna find it. Precision and excellence. So, first, I'm going to make a demonstration. I'm going to demonstrate you... Where is it? There it is. A simple spell, in the fact that all it does is hammer a nail into a block of wood. It's called the Minor Arcane Masonry Thumb, the spell is called. However, in casting, the spell is immeasurably complex. Please watch closely. He channels out an iris and casts a spell with it. It takes him a blip of a second, but it is a very complicated series of finger movements and tracings in the air to create the sigil, the boreal in the air to cast the spell. I need you all to make me a arcane plus focus check.
Oh, that's all me. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Minerva, you'll probably do just fine with this.
They were all here.
You're all here.
Look
Being
at
classy.
that.
Man, we rolling low as fuck today. It's a good thing I have higher pluses on that shit though.
Oof.
I don't.
Yeah.
What was the total? Or
Is it
what
10?
were we? What do we
Arcane,
have?
10 for me.
10, cool. Arcane plus focus.
Well, at least I have some focus. That's a 4.
It's a 4. And Don?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Awesome, perfect. All right, so that's an 11.
11. Pretty solid. Ravok, you look at this man move his hands quickly in rapid motions and create a sigil in the air. You do not know how it got there, but you do catch a glimpse of what the sigil looks like before the block of wood in the middle of his desk has a nail that's just sort of sitting there, just goes straight into the wood. I will repeat this process again slower, so that you may watch closer. He does it again. A little bit slower, but still very quickly. It is still very difficult to follow. Ravok, you have one more chance to try to make the check. The check goal is 10.
I got an 11.
Nice.
No, 10. Exactly 10.
Exactly.
Yes.
Still good. You see it happen. This time, your eyes follow the tracings of his fingers. You now get why Master Lahara mentioned the dexterous fingers. His fingers are moving in positions that fingers should not move, and with such quickness, moving between these positions while tracing a sigil, a boreal in the air. The circle around the triangle and shapes and runes drawn into the triangle, all traced in the magical aurora energy. The spell finally forms and manifests, causing another nail to lift up and press itself perfectly straight into the wood. He draws the symbol that you saw in magic in the air onto the board in chalk. He says, "This is the symbol," and then he does a series of quick dashes and symbols that are like shorthand for the hand positions you're supposed to make. And these are the semantic positions. So, without further ado, he passes out blocks of woods and 100 nails to each of you. You will spend the next 3 hours hammering these nails into this block of wood using the spell. He claps his fingers. You may begin! You all spend the next 3 hours doing this.
Is Varen here?
Varen is here.
I project with Varen.
You actually will project together as a group, a whole company. You
Okay,
guys,
good. Varen receives most of the work.
I still need you to make 3 checks each. If you wish to divvy the check out to other students, you may, and have some
May I
students
use
make more
a
checks.
mental mental manipulation or social manipulation to try to make Varen do the parts that are clearly artificer-wise?
First, I want you to make me a mental plus awareness check.
Sure.
Or, sorry, I'll let you do either mental awareness or instinct awareness. It's the same thing.
Let's roll with mental awareness. Hey, finally rolling high on this other random shit. Okay. So that's going to be 13.
You get the sense that you could probably cast that spell easier than Varen could.
Oh, well, I look at it as Varen starts to, assist, and I let them assist to a certain degree, and then as soon as it becomes evident that I can do this slightly better, I do it.
The way we'll do the assist is I'll let you both roll the check, and whichever higher dice roll. So I'll just roll a d10 and you roll a d10, whichever higher dice roll is, you can take.
Yeah. Okay.
Each of you can still make the 3 checks, though. So it's going to be I'm pretty sure, arcane plus focus check, which is why I said Minerva should do it.
Well, I rolled a 1 on my d10 roll, so I'm going to take Varen's roll.
That's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Let me check. No, I'm sorry. It's a mental arcana check. Mental arcana check. 3 checks.
Well, I'm going to take
each.
Varen's die roll, and then I'll add my mental arcana.
I'm going to roll the first one. It is a 4.
Okay, add 6.
Okay. That's a fail. Did anybody?
Cool.
What did everybody else roll? Ravok got a 1.
I rolled another 1.
Oh, that's so rough. Struggling. You do it, and you get the aurora to draw out, which it's very hard and shaky to do when you've never done it before. And then the aurora just goes and spatters out all over the ground. You take 1 point of blight damage as blight runs up your hand, only a little bit, runs up your finger. You go, ow!
I need to stop blighting my hands.
I know, right?
I've only got 1 left.
6.
6 total? Fail. Dawn, you have a general understanding of what you're supposed to do to make this happen. All of you can channel Aurora at this point. You know how to pull Aurora out of an iris. You just don't know how to make it do what you want it to do. Dawn, you get to the point of making it trace your fingertip motions, but still fail. Make me the check again, each of you. Minerva still gets the crit from Varen. 16 on the die.
Cool.
Got a 2.
That's a 7.
7. Still a fail, but better. Or worse.
What was the points again?
It's a mental plus arcana check.
So that's a slightly better one. That's a 2. So 4 total instead of 3.
4 total. You manage to get the Aurora to channel out and trace your fingers as well, which is the first time you've ever done this. You've never had the Aurora trace your fingers like this before. But then suddenly you get a pulse in your chest, Ravok. It says,
We can do better.
Oh, I will gladly take the assistance, because this is frustrating.
roll a d4.
Hold on. Swing your foot.
Oh,
You take that much blight damage, but for the next minute, for the next 4 minutes, you may add a 1d4 to. We'll say for the rest of this lesson, actually, for the rest of this scene, you can add a d4 to all of your arcane checks, all checks that require the arcane skill.
wonderful.
You still failed the first one though. Minerva, what was your total with the 16 as the die roll?
Well, so it was 16 for the die roll from. How does that work? I was
Created.
thinking my die roll or what's his face's die roll?
Or Varen's, right? Varen's die roll is a 16. He re-rolled a 10 and then
fuck.
a 6 on a d8.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, plus 6 to that.
Sick. Yeah, 22. Minerva, you managed to get one to lift up, bam, knock it down. Another to lift up, bam, knock it down. You just keep doing this. You're surprised by how boring and menial of a spell this is, how complicated. It would be easier for you to just hammer it in yourself with a hammer. Insanely difficult. However, you do realize as you get this done, you knock out like 10 in a row in like one quick succession, just like bam, 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 knocks it all down. Ravok, 3 of them lift up simultaneously and just drive in. You realize that you did that. You made that happen. You're not sure how.
More or less. Plus or
Dawn, you
minus.
are still struggling, but you do manage to get one to lift up shakily and go in at a bent angle. But it still doesn't do exactly what you wanted it to. It doesn't go in perfectly straight as the spell requires. As you make a look over your shoulder at Coventry, the rest of his team aren't doing anything, and Coventry, paying no attention to the board or to anything other than making direct eye contact with you, is casting the spell with one hand and drinking tea with the other. He has 10 of them lift up at once, just like Minerva did, and drive in. Easily, perfectly, and straight.
Oh shit. I had no doubt in my mind. Not even a little doubt.
Not even a little doubt. You all can do this once more. One more time, make the check. Ravok, remember to add that d4. Varen got a 7 on the die.
Seven total. I literally rolled a 1, a 2, and then a 3 for that
Jesus
check.
fucking Christ. Alright. Dawn and Ravok. Ravok, you don't lose any morale. So just Dawn. Dawn, you lose. Oh, hang on. I'll wait till you tell me what your total is for this one.
No, you're good. You're right. You're correct.
I'm correct. What's the total?
It was 6 again.
A 6 again. Okay. Ravok, what's your total?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's mental arcana?
Mental Arcana, yeah.
7.
7. 7's not horrible. You manage to get another one to lift up and go in, but it
I'm
causes
so good at this.
considerable stress. You can do another d4, you'll lose morale. Same thing with you, Dawn. You can spend a d4 of morale to increase your check by the d4.
9.
9. You get another one to lift up and go in. It's almost perfect, but it's not fully perfect. So Ravok, you get 2 to lift up and go in, but not perfectly. Just
I'm so convinced that I'm the best at this.
You've never done anything like this before. You've never really cast a spell before, so this probably feels really cool. Even though it is.
Yeah, this is the first magic I have ever like actually casted.
And you're just naturally gifted, and you have no assistance whatsoever.
Oh no, I never said that. I'm just
No. That's what I'm saying right now. It's no proof. It's all you.
Yep, absolutely.
And by the way, you're all sharing a board, right? You just have 100 nails total, so you all just have to get 100 nails in. So, like, it doesn't matter if one person does all the work. You can tell that Coventry's team is just Coventry doing it all. And he's already got most of them in. And I should also mention, it's been like an hour at this point, and you guys have, like, a good bit of them in. Minerva's got 10, Ravok's probably done, like, 6 or so, Dawn's probably got 3 in. Echo's probably got a few in for you as well.
Yeah, just let me know when you want me to roll again.
Yep. Dawn, what was your total was 6? Minerva, go ahead.
I love.
Make the check. Same thing. Mental. Yeah.
Hey, crit. There we go.
Beautiful.
23, my friend.
23. Beautiful. Yeah, you pick up 10 more. Not at the same time, but 10 drop, 1 drop, 1 drop, 1 drop, 1 drop. And then you realize you're getting the hang of it. You pick up 10 at the same time and make them all drive in at once. Just like
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, just like what's his face has been doing, just like Coventry's been doing. Dawn, did you want to burn the morale to increase your check, to increase your 6 to a higher number?
Yeah, I was trying to do like a scene with
Oh yeah, do it.
go, and I look really hard at a nail.
We lost whatever you were saying. All we heard was a nail.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I look really hard at a nail like I'm going to, keep working at it this way, and then I clearly get frustrated again. I get like a forehead vein, pick a nail up, press it into place with my claw, and then just nail it in place with a normal hammer or with my fist or something.
With your fist, you just slam the nail down. The professor walks over and pulls out 10 nails from your wood board and flicks them onto the table and says, "That is for unlawful use of physical might. This is not a test of how strong you are, Don. We are all very aware. We've seen you perform on stage. Everybody give a round of applause for Don, really quick." Some of the students awkwardly clap, and then he goes, "Good, sorry, showboating myself. Don, this is not a test of your physical might. This is a test of your arcane skill and growing it. Do not be ashamed that you are not fantastic off the bat. Some students, like Esper Coventry, were born into a magical family. He could do this in his sleep, I'm sure. However, you were not." Coventry says, "Oh, say, not born into any family at all." You hear it, and Ash goes, "That's enough out of you, Coventry. That's 10 nails from you as well." He casts a spell and causes 10 nails to lift out of Coventry's and plink onto the ground. "But Don, do not be ashamed. You are learning a valuable skill here. Covet it. Become stronger." He pats you on the back. "I'm sure you'll get the hang of it." He walks over to another student. Starts murmuring suggestions to him.
I'm quite moralized. I guess I'll keep going.
Everybody make the check one more time.
Gotcha.
It's still mental arcana.
Why?
Why? Why?
Why?
Oh my god.
All right, Dylan, look at my last 4 fucking rolls.
Two. Hang on.
If you look at my last
Hey, Don critted.
7 twos.
I was about to say, give this one to I'm about
Don
to say,
just critted after having after getting spurned. Just want to throw that out there.
Proud of you.
hell yeah.
That's awesome.
And critted again on the D8! D6 was a 1. Okay.
Wow. I mean, still, that's a 19 off the bat. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Dylan, I think this dice roller's broken.
I rolled a 2.
I'm just saying,
Uh-huh.
narratively, Don just got like a talking to from the professor and then fucked shit up. So,
then-
like, roll with that how
I
you will.
love that. That's wonderful.
All right.
That's 21.
21. Fuck yes. You pick up the 10 that he just plicked out, you lift them up, and you, concentrating very hard, very slowly and very carefully, drive them into the wood. You can feel... You're now finally getting the hang of the spell. You can feel it. You can feel that you're doing it right. You can feel the spell gripping the nail. You can feel it doing mathematical calculations to measure out the grain of the wood to make the nail go in perfectly, smoothly, and precisely. You don't even realize you have the other 10 lifted until you look over at them and see them all drive in perfectly straight.
I'm kind of channeling a little bit, so just like a little bit of the...
A little bit of the what?
And I Professor, I get it now. And I flourish to get some morale back.
Hell yeah. Coventry
Just
looks irritated that you did it.
Yep, and get 3 morale back.
Perfect. Ravok, what was your total?
6.
6. You hear in your head,
If you can take more pain, we can do better.
Sure. Yeah, I can take more pain.
roll a
I'm
D6.
gonna sell my soul to the devil for a class project.
Correct.
Roll a D6, you'll take the damage.
I think that's an anime.
I think that's an anime.
I would be surprised if it wasn't.
Oh yeah, of course it's an anime. High School DxD.
High school.
Alright, how do I...
Roll a D6.
Alright.
You will
How do
take
I...
some damage.
No,
Oh,
yeah, how do I reset the dice roller? Because it keeps... there we go.
Oh yeah, I was about to say, right-clicking is adding more, left-clicking is removing.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Oh, yeah, that's
I'm
right.
guessing-
We have a dice roller over here. I forgot about that.
Don't use it, it only rolls 2s.
Yeah, it's been rolling fucking shit.
I've been using the fucking Discord dice roller for I don't even know how long at this point, so.
Another 4 damage.
4 damage to you. You may roll a
Mhm.
D6 and add it to the roll. You can keep the 4 if you'd like. But you can also roll it again, see if it's higher.
I'm gonna roll it again. Fuck. God damn it. I should have known better. So 9.
9 is still okay. You still managed to get a few more lifted up. And you can now, you're starting to feel the way this spell works. You're starting to understand it. You've done it probably like 60 times in the span of 3 hours. You guys have been doing this for 3 hours. You lose the health, but you do manage to get a few more nails to go into the slot.
Is it
I'm
visibly
feeling it now,
obvious that
Mr. Kraft.
motherfucker is being, like, fucked up the longer that he does these
Yeah,
spells? Like,
one
can
of
I
the-
see this? We're here for 3 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's visible.
Yeah, you can tell I am physically getting, like... I might as well be dead at this point.
Ravok, what is happening to you?
I gotta beat Coventry.
What are you doing to beat Coventry? Look at
Magic.
you, what's happening?
Magic.
No, magic does not...
This is my first time doing magic. This is how
I
it
am
works,
aware
right?
that this is not... this is a difficult task, but why is it doing this to you? You shouldn't be... Look at the rest of the table for some sort of, like, agreement that he doesn't look good.
Magic is draining. My arm's sleepy. Skeleton
Ravok,
bones.
Sit out the rest of this, please. We're gonna figure out what's happening.
But we gotta do the class. We can't
We can
fail
do
the class.
but I don't want you dying because of a class project.
I won't die.
I look at him with, like, a genuine
fine.
stare. Ravok,
The professor...
I'm asking you quietly and nicely to chill.
You're not my mom.
The professor walks over to you all as you're having this hushed and quiet conversation, but it's quite clear that you're not like actively focusing on the thing that everybody else is. The professor walks over and says, "Is there a problem? Is there anything I could assist you with? Are you attempting to focus on other strategies? I assure you there is only one way to properly..."
My eyes get a gleam in them as I realize the manipulative possibility here. Ravok is feeling unwell. They just recently came from the infirmary, and I believe this is taking a lot out of them. Can you please dismiss them? And then I stared, flaming coals at Ravok.
Ah, is this true? Are you suffering from discomfort due to your recent stint?
It's physically obvious as the professor looks at him, right?
Yeah, the professor can see, but it looks like the professor is also attempting to figure something out as well. He looks like he's gauging Ravok's something.
I'm fine. I can finish the class.
He closes his eyes.
Permission to speak with you privately, Professor.
Why is Rudius in the background of this picture?
That's actually Coventry. That's where
Who's
I have
Rudius?
Coventry seated.
What's a Rudius? Is that a thing that I don't know?
No, it's a character from an
okay.
anime. This picture is from an anime.
Oh my god, it is! Okay, alright. So I'm not crazy. That is Rudius.
That is actually Rudius, yes. It is Rudius sitting in the background.
I will let my hands continue.
I have been imagining that you all are sitting at this table, and that that's Coventry up there.
There you go.
Coventry's a 35-year-old shithead.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Does the professor allow me to speak to him privately?
So the professor nods at you, but then looks at Ravok and says, "The might of a true mage is to understand their weaknesses and strengths. When a magus needs to move to the back of the party to better support their teammates, or to better preserve their own life. Boy, son, you look half dead, and I can assure you, blight doesn't work this fast, and this spell is very cleverly cultivated not to cause such pains. So, I ask you again, do you need help?"
Fine, I'll go.
You don't
I
need to
stand
go.
up and go.
He puts his hand on you. You don't need to go. This is an excellent opportunity for me to show the class something. Come with me. He grabs you by the both back of both of your shoulders and pushes you towards the front of the classroom.
God damn it.
Now I'm being made an example of. Thanks, Minerva.
I was going to do a thing, and now you made it worse.
You brought it up. We were fine.
Hush now, hush now. He pulls out a bowl of water. This is water that has been blessed at a shrine. It has been blessed to alleviate blight. Hold your head up here, son. Hold your head back. Hold it back. Don't breathe in for a second. He douses water. He takes a ladle and pours it over your face. You immediately feel relief as the blight subsides. This kind of thing is important and very useful, depending on how powerful the mage was. Could be used to cure almost all the blight from your body. You had 1 level of blight. I was about to give you the debuffs for it, but as he pours it over your body, you can feel it subside and disappear. You also get 6 health back.
Wonderful.
And restore 1 morale.
Wonderful. I just look at them all. Can I go now?
You don't need to go, son, unless you still don't think you're up to it. I feel you should be adequate to continue practicing this magical spell now, yes? Do you feel much more? And he pats his chest. Invigorated, rejuvenated.
Yes.
Good show, old boy. Get back to work then. He pushes you back towards your desk.
I guess I sit down at the desk.
I'm not done with you.
He walks over to your table again and whispers in a low, hushed tone that you get the sense that if someone else was listening, they could hear it, but there's something about the way he whispers it that it only goes in your ears. He says, "I apologize, but you all will not be getting to take any breaks from exercises for the next 2 weeks. If you feel too weak to continue, then you need to push through."
You're testing him.
I'm testing all of you. He keeps walking.
You know what he's bound with, I say as he walks away.
I do.
You know what risks you're taking. And you know they won't be permanently bound to him. We have other plans.
I need you all to be ready.
I'm fine with that, but we are currently in a bad spot with his health. If you push him now before we separate it and attach it to where it's supposed to be, you put us all at risk.
Fine. I don't understand why everyone's talking like I'm some cancer
Can you
kid.
hear us? Can you hear us?
Yes. The word
Ah,
that
fuck, my bad.
all students can hear. Not all students, all party members can hear this. He seemed
Okay.
to be whispering it magically to your group.
Magical cancer kid, is that how you wish to phrase it, Ravok?
That's what it sounds like. I have something irreparable attached to me that you're
is
trying to
not
remove and use for some greater whatever it is you do.
Well, it's not irreparable. It's temporary until we can figure out how to change where we're at right now. But if we keep pushing you while you have this situation, I don't know what's going to happen to you. And if they, and I the professor, keep pushing you while this...
I'm fine. I'll be fine. I've had worse. Everyone in this building's watched me be beat half to death. I survived that.
I don't need any more of your dismemberment on my conscience, Ravok.
It wasn't your fault. Why do you have to take responsibility for choices I made?
Because I can prevent it now. I couldn't
You-
then, I can now.
Can't. I'm going to make my own choices, and if they lead to me losing another arm, that's not on you, that's on me.
She actually sits back at that and looks you in the eyes. You're taking responsibility for it?
I have to at this point.
Okay.
I can't even say you're going to be around for the next week, let alone forever.
She looks a little hurt at that. Ravok, I'm here to help you. If you want to go through with this, then I'll help you through it. But when we get on the other side, I'll keep my I told you so's to myself.
I'm just gonna... Ravok just stops talking and just crosses his arms and sits there.
He pouts. Regardless of that, that was a great show of
Thanks.
conflict and conversation. You both get the opportunity to re-roll a check in
I love it.
Hell yeah,
the
hell
next
yeah.
couple of sessions. After a while of you guys going back and forth, hammering nails, eventually, migraines aside, you have a block of wood with 100 nails hammered straightly into it. A few of them are slightly askew, but you still have a block of wood with nails hammered into it. You're not the firsts to get through it, but you're not the lasts. There are some with very few nails hammered in, and some who seem to be struggling so greatly that they get up and leave. Eyes bloodshot, tears welling up in their face, and veins sticking out of their foreheads. But you're still here, and many of the other students are as well. Eventually, once all of the students finish what they're doing, the professor walks back up to the front of the room after inspecting everybody's blocks of wood and says, "Now for the next lesson. This one is called... This one is called Minor Arcane Masonry Correction. This one is easier in theory, but requires some effort of physical exertion rather than the effort of focus that was required by the other one." He demonstrates, pulling the nails magically out of the wood. You spend the next 3 hours doing this. that is where we will end the session.
Cool. I had a good time. I don't know about y'all.
Good. You got into an argument with Coventry. You pulled
Party
nails out.
members, figures of authority, figures of wanting authority. Everyone had an argument.
Everyone had a guard. It was a very confrontational, but non-violent class. Ravok got a robot arm out of it. That's dope. Dawn got challenged to some magical tournament of strength. That's cool. How do you feel about that, Dawn?
I feel like I don't know. So I'm visualizing like Crab and Doyle.
Crab and Doyle? Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, I'm gonna bring my 2 goons. You can bring 2. And I went and looked at like I guess my 2 goons, and it doesn't seem like I should be taking anyone. They're very to help me beat a school bully up.
I don't know. He challenged you. He seems like he could. He seemed to be so confident that he could handle whoever you chose to pop in the ring with him.
I like killing Coventry with like playful competitiveness.
Yeah,
because he always takes it too seriously, and then whatever happens is still Dawn kind of. I just feel like it's funny picking on their and getting on their nerves every time. I mean,
this may be a weird thing to say, but this might actually be something that you bring 2 of the other party members for, because like he's gonna assume that you're gonna bring Minerva, but I think Minerva could probably help you even more without being there physically present.
I actually don't know if Dawn would invite you into like this fist fight. I actually think you have like that status where it's like that's my friend, but they have like after school activities, so I don't bother them with my petty drug.
I'm saying you can by all means let me in on it, but it's more of like we can talk about it.
So you all are he challenged you to something called Aurora Kuwarai. You all know that that's one of the games at the Grand
the
Guild
one meeting
tournament.
with the flag.
I actually don't know much about it, so
Nope.
I'm down to hear some explanation.
It is a game
It's
where.
the one Dawn probably isn't going to be good at.
What'd you say, Dawn?
It's the one that Dawn probably won't be very good at.
Probably not. Minerva might be okay with it. Heko would probably be good at it. Ravok would probably be okay at it too. But the overall means is to have 3 people on a platform, and then a couple of people in the ring. But he said just 3, so it doesn't seem like he's interested in anyone being on the return. You're on platforms that are raised off the ground. If you can try to knock people off of the platforms onto the ground, and while you are being knocked off platforms, you have to try to make your way magically to the next ring of platforms to make your way to the middle. Whoever gets their way to the middle first wins. If 2 people make their way to the middle first, they have to fight each other to knock one off the edge. So the goal is to get to the middle first and knock everybody else off. You can either win by knocking everybody down or win by getting to the middle first.
Yeah, I'm kind of like I specifically.
I don't know what you said, Don.
Yeah, so I thought you and I talked about this way back when playing, because I was under the impression at first that we were playing every one of the games at the festival.
Yep.
And we ended up flaking on the last one because we got swept up in championship and all that.
Oh yeah, and the murder of all of your friends in a pub.
That also happened. Heko being abducted by a
God ball.
Well, I just want to say, next session, I would really like to talk to 6 at the start of it, if that's cool with you.
Interesting. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Oscar says, "Hell yeah."
Oh, I just barely heard that too from like an echo. Love you, Oscar.
Love you.
Am I misremembering, or did 6 actually talk to that the god,
The fracture?
No. The one, the barkeep who is also
Yes,
a god.
Six also talked to the god. A good portion of you guys met the god. Not all of you talked to the god. Minerva, I think, saw the god. Dawn, I think, talked to the god. I don't
Which
think
god are we
Ravok ever
talking
met
about?
the god. The guy Jadel, the guy who sits in a treehouse and pretends like he's a barista.
Yeah. What's going to be a secondary meeting and basically psychoanalyzing, because like last time it was sort of like you were a vendor, I didn't know what the fuck you were doing. Now I know more about you, and now I need to size you up properly.
Yeah. He's a god, or some sort of god. They made it sound like he was at one point in time a mortal who ascended to godhood during the Fey Wars.
All right. No.
That's the end.
Anyway,
of the session.
awesome ass session.
I'm glad you
Have we ended the
enjoyed.
stream yet?
Yeah, nope. I'm ending it now.
All right. Well, sorry, mommy. How's it
Sorry,
going?
mommy.